We did it to each other.
Yes. That was lit.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Meecaps, the entertainment recap, where we tell you what we listened to the week prior, day of, or the day before. I'm joined with my co-host David, who we're both fucking hosts of this motherfucker. Hello, David.
Co-host, yeah. What's up, guys? Episode 2.
That's 2 down. I'm blasting people's ears right now. You think they can see how cool I look?
Rick is looking very cool. He's got
my Ryan Gosling get up.
Kind of. It's Drive. Really just the glasses.
You're right. Damn it.
We're still in the dark, dirty basement, and he's wearing glasses. So I don't know how he's actually looking right now. Don't know if you could see.
So what you been up to, man?
Nothing much. Still working out all the kinks with this kind of stuff. We finally got 2 pairs of headphones now. The listeners didn't know, but last week we only had 1 pair of headphones.
So I heard all the lip smacking.
All that goodness.
The deep breaths being taken.
I can't say that those are going to go away just because I got headphones now, but we can work on it.
That's funny because I was literally whispering in your ear from 2 feet away.
Yep. Interesting. It's a weird concept.
That's weird.
But yeah, no, nothing really. Just work. Just got a new promotion, so that'll be pretty cool. It's gonna free up a lot of my time. Funny enough, you would think you get a promotion, you spend more time. Yeah, you work more, but my hours are going down, so be able to spend more time to bring you guys some good quality content. What about yourself, man?
Caught up on a bunch of movies. Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
But yeah. Watched the movie Drive.
Yeah.
Did my podcast homework.
Yeah.
A segment that we didn't get to introduce on last episode was Netflix Roulette. And I guess we can switch through different streaming services.
Yeah.
See if we can.
The name of the app, Real something?
I fucking forgot. I know. I looked it up like at midnight and sent it to you.
Damn, it's called like Real Good or something. I don't know. REEL. But anyway, it's a pretty cool app. Yeah, you sent it to me, and you can actually modify the streaming services. So I set mine to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and HBO now.
Fuck, I just
those
had
are mine. Oh, well,
I didn't look into it that much. I will now.
It still works out because the movie I got was a Netflix one, so we still both watch movies from Netflix.
But yeah, we didn't get to introduce that.
No, we didn't. We decided off camera.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a segment, and you're gonna hear our the movies that we got. We both landed on.
We're selected.
We're selected at the end of the episode. But we're gonna pick a randomly generated movie, and then watch it, regardless of rating, quality, or anything else.
Sounds interesting.
As long as we haven't seen it, it's fair game. And then we'll try to convince each other that our movie was good and we should watch it.
Yep, pretty much. So that'll be towards the end. We got a couple things we got to get through first, though. But that should be a pretty fun conversation. We also, the only time we're gonna do this, because we're gonna do it on air, so you guys will know what movies we're gonna get at the end, so you could play along with us at home. But this time we did it all off camera to the point where we weren't even in the same room. So I actually, this episode, don't even know what Rick's movie is, and he doesn't even know what my movie is yet. So we'll all find out together at the end.
Yeah, anything eye-catching you see? Articles, news articles at all?
The biggest one I'd say today, a couple big things came out today. The Black Mirror.
Oh, the Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror season 5 just got announced. It's only going to be 3 episodes.
It's only 3 episodes coming out on June 5th.
Yeah, I don't really mind that one though. Like 3 episode things, I saw some people were kind of upset that it was only gonna be 3 episodes,
No,
but
yeah, I think it's just because of the Bandersnatch movie that they came out with, which was like I guess
true, like a very long.
hours, yeah, and hours. I mean, I don't know how long it was. I didn't see it personally. I saw the shows. I didn't.
You didn't watch Bandersnatch?
I didn't watch it because I felt like it was very daunting. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. Like there's anime shows that I really want to watch, but it's like 300 episodes, so it's kind of like fuck, I have to sit through all this to get to something good. Or I don't know. It's just a weird feeling.
Yeah, I wasn't originally planning on watching it. I'm a huge fan of the show,
Facts.
but the movie itself just didn't really catch my attention. And then it just became like this phenomenon, like everyone was talking about it. And then so I finally just caved in and I was like, all right, let me check it out. And I honestly thought it was okay.
Bandersnatch. So
Yeah.
have you gone through all the endings, or just
I'm not
you
gonna
just
waste my
went through
time.
it?
Yeah, I just got the ending. Actually, I think I messed up on it because I said,
What you mean? Did it
so
end
it's
like in 30
a
minutes?
choose your own path. No, it's
30
a
minute
choose your
movie?
own path, and I'm pretty sure I got to the ending. Well, I don't know. So if you chose, essentially, it was almost choose your own path, but it was also kind of forced because if you did something incorrect, I don't know if the movie was supposed to end, but it always gave me the option to go back to like a vital point in the story.
Okay.
So let's say, I mean, it's been out for a while, right? I could spoil it.
Yeah.
So there's a point, let's say, where someone asks you if you're going to kill yourself or if they're going to be the one to kill themselves. They ask you if you're going to jump or they're going to jump.
Okay.
And it's for you to decide. So being
You would
the
have a hard time
pessimist I
trying
am, I said I'm going to kill myself. So I chose as the main character to jump off because I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And so you jump off and you die.
The
And so it
movie
asks you, well, you would think that the credits would roll.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's technically one of the endings, but at that point it told me to go back and retry that part again.
You didn't
So I
like
don't
what you
know.
chose?
Kind of, that's what it felt like. So I don't know. I never actually got to the roll of the actual scrolling of the credits. So maybe I haven't finished Bandersnatch. but yeah. So I think I might have messed that movie up. But overall, the main beats of the story, there's not much too many variations, I feel, in it. So it's an RA movie. I guess it's a cool experience if you want to experience the choose your own path. But I much prefer the show. They're anthology, so nothing. They're not one is ever like. But so I like that idea.
I think when you said you didn't want to spoil it, I found that kind of funny, knowing that it's like a bunch of different endings.
Yeah.
And you have to choose your own path. You can't really spoil it, I guess.
I spoil your ending if you chose this and that.
Yeah.
Then you
spoiled
just
the
got
very
spoiled.
specific ones. Like, hey, guess that
If you
does
choose
suck,
that answer.
man.
But other than that, I know a big one also that just came out I think today. Rick and Morty just got their announcement date finally. It's one of my favorite shows.
Release? November,
they said. So no word on episodes, I don't think. I'm assuming it'd be like 12. That's usually what it is, I believe. Super hyped for that.
Isn't that show like being renewed for like a couple seasons? Not just
Probably.
This one? It's like
Yeah, I don't think.
lot.
No, I think it has a few seasons. I want to say it has like 9. But I mean, it's a good quality show, and because of that, they take a while to release their seasons. I think it's been 2 years since the last season came out.
That's what we thought about One Punch Man, and so far, a lot of filler.
I mean, I'm like One Punch Man. I
Funny.
haven't seen this week's episode, so I saw the one after Metal Bat, which is again filler. Honestly, I can't even remember what happened in it. I'm trying to defend you, One Punch Man, but I can't even remember what exactly happened in your episode. So I guess that's not a good sign. But I'm gonna guess. Well, I guess you've seen this week's episode, so it still doesn't pick up, huh?
No, does not.
Because that'd be now what, episode 4?
Yeah, you would think, man. Going into this episode, just like, okay, now it's you had one filler, now it's gonna continue.
No. So that's 3 straight episodes of filler, right? I don't know.
It's like Saitama is punching me in the face with nothing but disappointment.
It's the ultimate move. But yeah, no, I haven't seen that one. But sad to hear that that's filling. It's like turning into Dragon Ball Z or something. The very thing it's made to make fun of, like those kind of animes.
Taking as long as the episodes are just as long.
But anything you saw out there caught your eye?
Well, just the fact that Disney is now slowly taking over Hulu.
I think you mean they're slowly taking over
everything. They're starting with Hulu. I mean, they've already had like a big
chunk of it.
Yeah, a big chunk of it. They've had a big chunk of it, but now they have 70% of it, with the last 30% pending. I think Hulu is holding on to the last 30 for I don't know how long, but
interesting. That's crazy to hear. I mean, especially because they have their streaming service coming out. So
I think they're gonna use it somehow.
Yeah, they must be planning something. I guess either way they win. If they put like, maybe they'll use it in the way that they use Netflix for like the Daredevil series. Like maybe they'll put like more mature content on Hulu.
What about that Star Wars show you showed me? What was it called?
Yeah, The Mandalorian.
That shit is fucking tight.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna get the service.
Definitely
getting
the service just for that. Yeah, but we don't have any rating on that either yet, so we'll see. Maybe it's rated PG. I doubt it because
that'll still be good, man. I mean,
you see the flamethrower and all right. If you guys haven't seen, there's leaked footage. So if you're a good Samaritan, maybe you haven't seen it, but there's flamethrowers. There's punching in fucking stormtroopers' helmets, like crushing them with your fists. So that's
what I've always wondered, how has like Darth Vader and the stormtroopers become such a big villain in this universe when they can't even hit a target with the goddamn lasers? Maybe that's why it's PG-13, because no one actually gets hit in the show.
Maybe. Maybe they, I don't know. It's a good question. You would think it's just sheer numbers, I guess, right? They're not necessarily good at what they do, but they got the bodies.
Numbers, so they can hit something eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder where they lost their aim. Or actually, no. Man, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm about to sound like a chump. Because I don't know. No, I think in the original trilogy, right? So there's the prequels, and you learn that there's clones, right? Then the clones turn on the Jedi, and they got their shots on point. I mean, they kill a lot of Jedis. Robots, so those are clones, and I want to say in the original trilogy, the stormtroopers... Huh?
Attack of the Clones, that's where the robots are just like...
Well, Attack of the Clones is episode 2. But I'm talking about the clones themselves, the stormtroopers. They're called clone troopers.
Okay, yeah.
So they're just clones, and they're killing the robots. That's episode 2. So I think the clone troopers turn into stormtroopers. And then, the original trilogy happens. The Death Star blows up. They build it. The Death Star blows up. Spoilers for Star Wars. The original trilogy. Return of the Jedi. They kill the Emperor.
You are literally spoiling it for me right
everything
now.
Else.
It's all good. It's all good.
And so then the new series, the new trilogy that's just started, since the fall of the Empire, I think this new empire that's coming up is, they say it's like slave based, like they're not clones anymore. Mm-hmm. So maybe now they suck at aiming, but I guess in the original trilogy they suck at aiming too. I don't know, somewhere between episode 3 and episode 4.
I just want to know,
they started sucking at aiming.
How did Brienne of Tarth get to this fucking universe, or how did she get on a spaceship, learn how to man a gun?
I don't know. She's witchcraft. After Jamie dumped her, she started praying to the Lord of the Light. She fucking hibernated for thousands of thousands. Actually, no, because Star Wars takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, whoa.
So
there's some shit. She's an alien.
Something's going on. It kind of looks like it. No, it's fucked up, actually. I love you, Brienne. But we could talk about Game of Thrones too.
Yes,
I didn't even put that on the rundown. We forgot to shit on it.
I got
praise it last episode.
I'm gonna shit on it, kind of.
I got some stuff to complain about.
I might poop on it a little,
just a little bit. Kersey's kiss.
Some sharts. Last piece of news. It's rumored that Zac Efron is going to be in the new upcoming movie for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, shit. That'd be interesting.
He's going to be playing Adam Warlock, which we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in the
post-credits, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of tease it as like a tomb, right? Like they show. And I don't know much about the character. I just know he's supposed to be pretty powerful. That's
All
about
perfect or some bullshit like that.
Is it? I mean, Zac Efron's pretty. He's a good-looking dude.
He's not that. You see me with my sunglasses? Did you see me with? I'm pretty,
Could give him his run for his money.
but his character, the Adam Warlock, was speculated that his character was gonna be someone who was gonna fight against Thanos.
Okay.
Before Endgame happened, like this was after.
So this Adam Warlock guy is a good guy?
He's a bad guy who turns good.
Spoilers. I'm just kidding.
So I don't know. It's not really.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. I'm just fucking. So he's a bad guy that turns good.
So I'm.
So they probably wanted to work him in earlier.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking,
but now he's probably going to be the bad guy. This
James Gunn, the whole James Gunn thing. So that I don't know. It all worked out in the end, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Endgame was dope.
It's fucking dope.
I guess it'd be a little super OP if you had Captain Marvel and this other perfect being.
Yeah, but I think now it's just going to be. I can see it happening right now. How Guardians of the Galaxy is being attacked by Adam Warlock, and now they have Thor, someone to combat. Actually fight this all perfect being, and then somehow turn him good at the end of the movie. But I don't want to watch this movie anymore. I already figured it out.
I'll let you know how it is. But yeah, I mean, Zac Efron, he's cool. I definitely think he's really hit or miss. Like, he can be a really good actor. He's very versatile, I guess. But like, I'd say majority of the time, I don't like his performances. I think he's a little
try hard.
Maybe. I don't know.
Baywatch?
I just don't like people that get like typecast. I didn't even watch Baywatch.
I didn't even want to watch Baywatch.
Yeah, I could tell by the trailer.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's why I mean, is that a kind of an act that he has in his portfolio that you don't like?
Yeah, pretty much like that same character. That typecast. I don't like his typecast, but I mean, he's been in some good stuff. I kind of like that movie, the Matthew Perry one. Damn, that was a loud buzz. We're still on the main street too. But yeah, I like that movie he was in with Matthew Perry where he turns into a teenager and he redoes like his high school career.
The fuck?
No, I forgot what it's called. It's pretty cool. He's pretty good in that one. And most recently I watched the Ted Bundy movie.
That shit was good, man.
It was alright. I wouldn't say it was like good, but it was good.
Well, his performance in that shit was fucking amazing.
Yeah, his performance is really good. Story-wise...
No, story-wise, because you don't see... It
was pretty average.
Yeah, you don't really see any, like, action or anything. I mean, you don't... I was kind of expecting it, but then you've seen all the Ted Bundy tapes and everything that's already out there.
It's the same dude, actually. The guy that made the Ted Bundy tapes is the director of that movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I guess he's been following Ted Bundy's career for, like, 20 years or some shit.
Is he the guy who got the first interview?
I don't know.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But he's been around him for a while. And I know for sure that I actually listened to an interview from another podcast I listened to where he was on. And his goal with this movie wasn't necessarily the story of Ted Bundy. It was like his... What the fuck's her name?
His trial? His girlfriend?
No, his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
It's like her story, kind of. And that's kind of what they paint in the movie.
Shout out this podcast, man. Don't be a dick.
I mean, it's a huge podcast. It's Collider Live.
I have not heard of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to check them out.
I mean, it's pretty big. They got a daily live podcast. They do... Similar to what we do.
Okay.
Except they're older.
Okay.
But they're definitely more tied into like the movie industry as far as like they got connections and stuff, so you can actually get scoops on that one. But
I know a guy who knows a guy. It's called Google.
But yeah. No, I mean, it's a really good podcast. I like to listen to my work.
No, but I can see how it was a movie about her. Now that you say that, or is it fact? That's what the director said, that it was a movie about the...
Yeah, that's what he said. It was focused on her story more so, like how she experienced the whole thing. So, I mean, they do spend a lot of time where she's not involved, so how was it her story? So but I think you have to get enough of him in there to also feel sympathy for her, maybe.
But as soon as you said that, I can see exactly what you mean by that, or what he means, or what he was trying to execute, because I got it immediately now.
But yeah, Zac Efron's performance in that was pretty good.
It's tight.
I definitely bought him as Ted Bundy. He had that same, charismatic
and
twistedness.
Also, it would work with Adam Warlock, because all perfect being, all Bundy.
True, he might be a little narcissistic.
Perfect. Yeah, bro.
Huh. Yeah, so that'd be a good casting.
So, someone needs to check Zac Efron's trash, man. He probably got some dead bodies in there, man. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe. He got too into the character.
He too perfect.
But is that it for news?
I think.
Or one thing I wanted to bring up, actually, that could lead us into Game of Thrones, because I think the next Star Wars movie after this one is coming out 2020, I believe.
2022.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, we're in 2019. No,
yeah,
2021.
The new movie is there's a movie coming out recently.
December.
I think, yeah, this year.
Yeah, this one.
And then they're
episode
taking a
9.
break. Yeah. Rise of the Jedi.
No, Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
yeah.
my bad.
No, it's all good. I'll be the Star Wars guy here.
Yeah, you're right.
Rise of Skywalker. But yeah. So leading up to that, whatever the next Star Wars movie that comes out, I believe is supposed to be helmed by Benioff and Weiss, who are the guys that write for Game of Thrones.
Is Brienne of Tarth going to be in there?
Probably not, since she's in this trilogy right now. It's Captain Phasma. I mean, they could, I guess. You don't really see her in this one. Briefly, her helmet pops off and you see her face. But yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about a Game of Thrones? My guess is, since they're familiar with Game of Thrones, is that they'll probably do like an old style Star Wars, like the forming of the Jedi and things like that. And that's what a lot of people think too. So what do you kind of think? I mean, I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan you are.
I'm not really. I mean, not because I dislike it. It's just something that I found hard to follow. Mm-hmm. But I've seen the recent movies like Rogue One. Mm-hmm. What is it? The Last Jedi or something?
The Last Jedi. So there's Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
Force Awakens. I saw all those.
Rogue One and Solo.
Rogue One was fucking tight. I haven't seen Solo. My bad. I haven't seen Solo.
Okay. I haven't seen Solo as a Star Wars fan.
Rogue One, the fighting scenes, the war scenes, shit was tight.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. Different way to see Star Wars. You never really seen it like that, where it's like an actual war. So that was pretty cool. But I have my issues with that movie too, though. Not the time and place for that.
But as far as what I think about this is, I really hope that those two guys are able to do something with this series, just like Game of Thrones. And I'm kind of worried because of the last season of Game of Thrones, at least to me, since I know that they're not following verbatim of what the books are. It's totally different. Mm-hmm. And to me, it seems very predictable. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of scared that they're going to go a predictable route with Star Wars. Yes, with storytelling in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But as far as the scenes and everything, I think it'd be tight to see like the world fleshed out. Like, do you see the whole world, the Star Wars universe?
Yeah,
shit you've never seen. It'd be tight.
So it's actually they're on for a trilogy. So it's not just going to be one. So they'll have time to flesh out some stuff. So I don't know. Take that how you will. That could be good or bad. So I know a lot of complaints are like with this new season or the past couple seasons of Game of Thrones, since they're not going off of books, is that everything seems kind of rushed. So
they offered them more than 6 episodes, and they said no.
Did they?
They said they can do them in 6 episodes.
Well, then that's on them. All the hate they're getting is on them. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, like you said, it is kind of predictable with Game of Thrones at this point.
Are we getting into Game of Thrones? Because
in a little bit. Just I'm gonna say like one point, and then we'll go into it. So with that, I mean, it is kind of predictable. But I think part of that problem is that they are going kind of based off the books. So they had all this source material, now they don't. So that is kind of tough, I feel, to write off of that and then to still make the fans happy. I'm sure the writer of the books, George R.R. Martin, probably had some insight into what's happening. So I think overall, like the major plot points would probably happen in the books if he was finishing them. But to fill in those extra gaps, could be challenging, I would think. So I guess I have a little more faith in them with the Star Wars because they'll have...
There's more to pull from.
Yeah. Well,
there's
not
comics
necessarily...
and everything. There's comics. There's the movies already built.
Well, there's that. Well, I'm hoping that they don't pull from that. I hope they come up with something completely original.
Completely original?
Yeah. Like, you could base it off stuff, sure. But I hope they do something completely original because that'll be either like the death of them or they'll be able to prove themselves.
That's what kind of has me worried, though.
People are complaining they're not like the books, but it's like it's not their books. Mm-hmm. How are they gonna complete something that's not theirs. They've been at adapting the books, but it's not their books. So if they're able to come up with something original, that's cool. I don't know, that'll prove it for me. So I don't know. It's up to them to step up to the plate, I guess. We'll see what happens to the first one. Yeah, I'll watch the first one for sure, and then if it's complete dog shit, then we'll see what happens with the other ones.
Which I doubt is gonna happen. I think it'll be good enough because it's Disney, man. If Disney's putting money into it, I'm hoping that they keep it up.
True. Let's see if they can keep. Disney's pretty known for hiring directors and such, and then getting rid of them if they're not creatively. No, yeah, that too. But if they're not creatively clicking, like Solo, the Star Wars movie was supposed to be, it was being directed by Lord and Miller, the guys that did the Lego movie, and that had their hands in the Spider-Verse movie. So they were doing Solo. They pretty much did all the principal photography, all the shots, all the filming was pretty much done, I believe. But the main actor and some of the cast were complaining that it was too, like, improv. They didn't like that. I guess something like that. I don't know. It's been a while, and then so they got Ron Howard to come in and reshoot some stuff, but so they're not afraid to get rid of people. Edgar Wright was supposed to do Ant-Man, and I don't remember if he stepped off or if they came to an agreement and he stepped away.
I think it was creative differences as well.
Yeah, so let's see. We'll see. Maybe these guys are just care about. I don't know. Since we're not in the industry, I don't know if they stepped away because maybe Edgar Wright didn't want to budge on his plans and Disney was being too restrictive. Or what, but maybe these guys are willing to just take the paycheck and do whatever Disney wants them to, which would be sad. But I think Disney's kind of giving the creativity to their directors and writers more now.
At least I'm hoping that's the true fact.
But yeah, so like I said, again, that'll be their opportunity to step up to the plate. And if it's anything like this season of Game of Thrones, then it might not be that great.
Yeah, man.
It'll be average.
So what did you think of the last everything we've seen, everything that's come up?
We haven't talked about it all, so we could kind of go through quickly. I think we could lead up to the most recent episode.
Yeah, should we do? I mean, are we okay with spoiling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Everyone, go watch it.
It's a big thing. Like we gather
if you don't
on
watch
Sundays to watch it. So most people, I think, watch it that first day or second day.
Yeah.
So by this point, we're recording. Well, this isn't going to get released till Friday, so that'll be plenty of time. So we're going to cover stuff up until the last episode.
You have time to catch up, people.
Yeah. So, I mean, just briefly, I would say like the first episode, I thought was pretty good. It was a decent first episode, welcoming everyone back. They have to have their reunions. Everyone's meeting up. So I thought that was a fine episode.
That was all cool. I found it cool. All the meetups. Enjoying it.
Nothing.
Everyone going to the north.
Yeah. Nothing really like stood out to me too much. Like there was no big, like if you were to tell me to recap that whole episode and what exactly happened, I probably couldn't do it for you.
I think the part that stood out to me that was pretty cool was when Arya noticed Jon and everyone else. I don't know. It's just people reuniting. It felt cool after they've been apart for so long.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean that's about the coolest part of the first episode, I think. The second episode, that's the episode before the big battle of Winterfell.
Oh no! First episode, there was a lot of remember the guy with the crossbow? What's his name? The guy that they promised, a bunch of castles. They're never gonna give him castles because
that's when Cersei. The first episode, Cersei sends him to go kill.
Yeah, Jaime. Remember they set his character up
and Tyrion. But like you said, it was predictable. So I already knew once they set that up, I was like, well, he's gonna go there. He's not gonna kill them, which is what happens.
But like they threw away. I mean, as far as like we've gone, they threw away his character.
Oh yeah, he was one of my favorite characters.
That's BS.
One of my biggest problems with the season, I feel, is that to the point, and people have been saying it too, is that like characters are abandoning like their arcs and they're abandoning some things that they do as characters. I
see that, but I mean, I kind of give it that their Game of Thrones has a large cast and every character has their own story arc, and it's hard to close all those ends. I can see that, but I mean, six episodes and they're trying to mash it all in. It's kind of tough. I feel like Bronze and many other characters have really fallen flat for me.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that I think I could do a better job or anything.
Of course not.
Like,
I can't for shit.
Yeah.
I can only critique it.
Yeah, we can critique it, but I don't think you should go fucking shit on these writers and stuff, like spam with hate tweets because your characters aren't doing great, you know? That's my opinion on it. But yeah, I can definitely feel with that. The second episode, the big build up, like it's kind of more reunion and setup. So I thought it was a good episode still. Not a great episode.
John and his past.
Well, that was the first episode, actually. That's the big thing in the first episode is... Wait, no.
Yeah.
Sam tells John in the first episode. That's the big ending. And the second episode, the ending is John tells Danny.
Okay.
So that's cool. I mean, the standout things in that episode are definitely Brienne getting knighted by Jamie.
That was cool.
That was pretty cool. You know, I've never really been like a huge fan of her character like most people. I think she's cool, but I don't know. I just don't stan her like most people do. She's a cool character.
But don't her vicious screams make you like pump you up when she yells when she swings her sword? Ah! She does it throughout the whole show. Whenever
I guess it doesn't stand out. I don't think about Bran screaming.
That's all that stands out to me, man.
Doesn't. It just stands out that she's super tall and could probably kick my ass.
That's facts. She can knee me just walking by.
Yep.
In the head.
So that was a cool part. You know, just all the talking was pretty cool. Nothing really, again, like super big stood out. Just more build up. I think this whole thing has been build up to this final and this episode that just passed, and I have no idea where. I can guess where this last episode's gonna go, but I feel like these first episodes it's all just been build up to me. Well,
one of my big things, and I know my girl's gonna hate me for this, but the whole show was a lead up, a build up to two things, which is what we're getting at the ending, which is the fight over the Seven Kingdoms and the Night King. The fact that the Night King, and let's just go to the third episode, the Long Night. The fact that the Night King was basically him and his crew were basically a throwaway character. At least it felt like to me, kind of sucked. Yeah, that's how I felt about the Night King. Does that not sound right to you? This is
yes
my
and
opinion.
No. Yeah, I mean these are all our opinions. Yeah. Fucking, you could come at us if you want. Yeah, I mean he was kind of a throwaway, I guess. The big problem is that they've been building up to him for so long, like you said.
That's why.
It's all been built up. He's not really been in the show very much, and I don't think he's been a big plot. But
he's always
at
been
the end of the day, I
though.
feel like it's Game of Thrones, and the main story is the Seven Kingdoms and who's on the throne, and the Night King's just kind of an obstacle to get to that throne, in my opinion. So I guess where they went wrong in the first place is building him up so much and making him such a menacing person that many people were disappointed that it was just one episode that took him out. But
it's I mean, at least for me, it's not the fact that it's just one episode. It's that he was this all evil thing throughout the whole show, and then when he gets the chance to do harm to Bran, which also was, to me at least, another character who really didn't offer much until, just warning people that the Night King was coming, which again plays into it that I was expecting the Night King to be this very evil person or all powerful thing, and he was just thrown away in a split second. I don't know. I feel like I rambled off right there, and I completely forgot what I was saying.
You were just complaining about Bran and that the Night King was menacing, and that he's just kind of been thrown away.
Yeah, and it sucks because I mean I like the show, and I can still rewatch the episodes, and I can still enjoy it. But as far as the lead up to the last episode, to me, has been a letdown. I still love the show, but to me, this last season is it's falling flat for me.
I don't think it's falling too flat for me. because I think the whole show in general has fallen flat for me since the end of season 4, like middle of season 5 maybe. And not like flat where it's like dead, like flatlining, but just that it's not, just that it's not like as great as it used to be. I've never been like a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I only started watching it right before season 7 started. Is when I watched the whole show, and it was pretty tough, honestly, to like push through the first 2 seasons. Like the first season, I mean, I felt the show in general from the very beginning is it's always been, every season to me is just filler, almost not filler. I mean, it's all important, but it's a sense of huge buildup all season to pay off in the second to last episode, and then they kind of wrap everything up in a bow on the last episode. That's like the formula for Game of Thrones. So most episodes, the first 2 seasons to me were just like basic exposition and build up to the final episodes. Like the first season, Ned Stark's death was the big thing. Second season, I couldn't even tell you what the second season was about. You remember?
No, I mean, I can remember the show as like being one big thing.
Yeah, like one big movie almost.
I can't really tell you scene by scene or episode.
Yeah, so that's what I have to say about the second season. I can't even remember the big plot points.
Ned Stark was a tight character.
Second season was the Battle of Blackwater, when Stannis comes to take over King's Landing, and Tyrion protects that was the second season. So everything was a build up to that pretty much. Season 3 and season 4 I think are some of the best seasons of television. Those are my favorite seasons.
Is that the one where you get the death of the king, the young king?
Season 3 is the Red Wedding.
This is before then. The Red Wedding?
Yeah, season 3 is the Red Wedding. So everything's, I mean, the episodes still before it are pretty good. They're still also build up, but I think just the Red Wedding itself is a great. Like the build up to that, it kind of shook the whole series because you thought Robb Stark was going to be the king, and you're like, oh, you back this guy. He was my favorite character. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen here?
He was the traditional hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Taken out in a brutal way. Then.
So it's definitely like, oh shit. And then season 4, I think, is carried by Peter Dinklage, Tyrion, and Pedro Pascal, Oberyn. Like their dynamic and their scenes to me are so well acted, especially towards the end of the season, when Pedro Pascal becomes the champion for Tyrion, and there's that whole big fight and stuff like that.
Again, another character you would assume would last longer in the show.
I mean, he technically did kill the Mountain, but he also died doing it, and the Mountain was resurrected. But so those seasons were really good. So that, and then it kind of just dipped off for me. I mean, season 5 and 6 were cool. Season 7 was a real disappointment for me. And this season, I think, is better than 7, but it's still not as great as I feel the show could be.
Yeah. I mean, overall, we're getting a bunch of action, and it's tight. A bunch of shit. A lot of people are dying. A lot of characters who we've seen on screen are dying. One of the biggest things that I'm sure you've probably seen online was the death of Cersei.
Yeah, this past episode.
And Golden Arm,
Jamie,
like Jamie Lannister. The way that they died was kind of a cop out for me, and I feel I'm sure you heard that before.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people complaining about that. It wasn't too bad for me. You can hear that on the mics. It wasn't too bad for me. The only reason it was bad at all was because the build up, I guess, from all the theories and stuff like that. So there was a prophecy in the books that Cersei would die by the hand of her little brother, I guess, like choking her out pretty much. I don't know how exactly it's worded. It might be like with her little brother's arms around her neck. Yeah, that prophecy that she has. So I guess technically if it's worded so that it's that her little brother's hands around her neck, that was kind of how they went out. I think he was kind of embracing her like that. But it's pretty whack.
At least the way I wanted to see it is like she's been a total bitch, but a badass bitch throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
And I guess I wanted to see the traditional Game of Thrones death would like they drag her out and put her at the stake or
yeah, something like that.
chop her head off.
I feel like Game of Thrones.
It's fucked up. I
don't
wanted blood.
We always want blood for those characters, but Game of Thrones, I don't think has ever really delivered on it too much. Maybe Ramsay when he gets eaten by his dogs,
Yeah,
like
the
that was
Battle of the
pretty
Bastards.
vicious.
Yeah, that was pretty.
But every other like villain character, they kind of go out weak. It's always the heroes that have the more brutal deaths.
For the most, right?
Yeah.
Right. Damn,
I don't know if there's a deeper meaning to that.
Danny's
but
gonna die.
She's not a hero anymore.
Yeah,
she's not a hero anymore. But I mean, yeah, that last episode I thought was pretty good. Again, with the predictability, like you said, I knew from the first episode of this season that that's where they were going to go, where she was going to become the Mad Queen and, burn people and, turn evil, essentially heal the show.
Yeah, I felt I kind of called that the Night King wasn't going to be as big as a menace as I thought. I hoped, because they still had to fight for the Seven Kingdoms. And
yeah, and I guess where you wanted that, or as I didn't really care about the Night King because he was this big threat to me. Like they build him up as a big threat, but
yeah,
to me he wasn't the point of the show. Like it's always been the throne. So it didn't bug me too much that he was in there. I know people were upset that the way he died, like you said, but I thought that's the only way you could really do it because he is so menacing.
Yeah,
so you have to sneak up on him and fucking shank him.
But how do you sneak up on him?
Well, he can't see everything. I think he can only see things when Bran is seeing things. I think that's how they set that up.
But Bran was... Oh, is that why he went away?
Not at the end. Yeah, he wasn't. At the end, he was just looking at him. And, I mean, they kind of do it in the show pretty well.
Also, tell me where the hell Bran was at. Where was he going? Where did Bran go?
When he fucking went...
Yeah, he's like... his eyes rolled in the back of his head.
When he plugged himself into the Matrix. He went into the Ravens, and I guess he just was flying around watching it and enjoying the show.
That's fucked up. I
know people were expecting like him to roll up
with
like
a bunch of crows.
Yeah, like just a bunch
Ravens.
of animals. Yeah, which I don't know how well that would have worked, but it's something.
No, I don't know.
But they kind of hint towards it at the beginning of that episode. I think it's that episode because John's there by the tree, and I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just looking at the tree
with the face.
And Arya sneaks up on him, and he's like, "How did you sneak up on me?" So they kind of foreshadow it a little bit. And
they've done that with Arya a lot, like the library scene.
Yeah, and then they also built up to that because she's super quiet and clearly they can't hear
her blood.
Yeah.
Her blood drops.
Yeah, somehow. But so I didn't mind her being the one that killed him, and it made sense to me. I mean, by the time she was jumping, I mean, obviously he still heard her because he turned around, and maybe it was Bran looking up that gave it away, but he still caught her and almost won. But
I mind.
Just gave him the fucking 1-2 like switcheroo.
The 1-2 switcheroo. Oh, that was tight. I mean, it was tight. It was badass.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm kind of excited for this last episode. I want to see how they're gonna end it.
Oh hell yeah, I'm still excited. I have my own shit
because
I'm still pooping on it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it's never been. I don't think I'd put it up. I mean, I don't watch too many TV shows. I wouldn't put it like in my top 3 TV shows of all time.
After this season, I wouldn't either. No. Kind of sucks.
Maybe like top 5, maybe top 10. I'd have to actually sit down and think about all the shows I watched.
I'd probably do 5. Top 5. Robot. Mr. Robot.
I haven't caught up on that one.
No.
I stopped after season 2. Breaking Bad.
Narcos.
No, I've only seen Narcos Mexico.
Both of them are good.
But that one's dope.
I'm grouping them in. They're good.
One of my favorite shows is Hannibal. That's my favorite show of all time currently. Maybe something will come out. But
and then The Walking Dead, number 1. I'm just kidding.
Can't comment on that one. But yeah. Any predictions to what's gonna happen in this last episode?
Arya's gonna kill Dany. But this is before. So no. Dany is gonna take the throne. Grey Worm is gonna drag in Grey Worm is gonna drag in Jon Snow's ass into the where the Queen Dany's at, and like, this motherfucker didn't fight with us, and she's gonna be like, why didn't you this and that, you betrayed me, I'm gonna kill you. And then as they're bringing Jon Snow, setting him up to die that day, Arya's gonna sneak up behind Dany somehow and fucking slice your neck up. And then there's going to be another battle between the North and the leftover
Unsullied and Dothraki.
Dickless. Yeah, and there's no more Dothraki. I mean, I guess there were a couple.
They're in the show still. Do you think we're gonna see Tyrion at all? Because he did let Jaime go.
Oh, he might die before John. I believe. Oh, now
he's gonna get executed
right before John, and then
see, boss, I might just fucking dip. Peace out.
He can't run
get on that
fast.
dinghy.
He can't get far.
Yeah. I mean,
he probably tried, but he was like, just over the hill.
Because there's no reason the Unsullied would not snitch on him. Like if she asked, like, "Oh, how did he get away?" If she even cares at this point.
Yeah, who let Jaime go? It was your right hand. That's boom. Yeah. Go look for the little guy.
What I think would be a dope thing, and that I haven't heard much people talk about, but I think actually I haven't heard anyone talk about it. So prove me if you've talked about it. Congratulations.
Yeah, let me know.
But I think yes, Dany's now at this point hungry for power and sees Jon as a threat. So regardless of what she knows he needs to go.
Super facts.
So either Jon's gonna have to kill her. I think maybe Jon might try to kill her, or do something that's gonna disrespect her, and then he's gonna have to kill Grey Worm because Grey Worm's gonna protect her because that's his queen, and he doesn't have Miss Sunday anymore. So Jon's gonna have to kill Grey Worm, and I think Dany's then gonna try to use her dragon to kill Jon. But since he's Targaryen,
damn, forgot about the dragon.
Yeah, since he's Targaryen, I think either the dragon won't listen to her,
facts,
but I think it will listen to her because she's his mom, or her. They're unisex or whatever. They're asexual, whatever the fuck it's called. But whatever, the dragon either won't listen to her, which I doubt. But I think that it's gonna shoot fire at him to burn him. But he's Targaryen, so he's not going to burn.
He can be all naked,
just like Dany didn't burn.
Walking up the flames.
And then so everyone's gonna see that, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit! Like, who is this dude?
Hey,
he's not burning." And then they'll back him even more, maybe. That's what I think. And then either Jon will kill her, or maybe Arya kills her. I don't know. Maybe Arya dies, and then that's how Jon tries to kill her. I don't know, but I think I hope there's gonna be something cool with Jon and the dragon, because they've kind of been hinting towards it a little bit. I think.
I mean, he is like he has the Targaryen blood in him.
Yeah.
So I guess the fire wouldn't affect him. That'd be a badass scene coming out of Terminator.
It would just look dope. Because she'd be like, "Oh shit, I got him," and then he'd be like, "Nah, bitch, psych."
She'd be like, "Damn, I forgot. I'm your auntie."
But yeah, so I'm still hyped for it. That's in a couple days. We'll see what happens. I know there's gonna be many people disappointed.
I might be there too, but I still love the show.
I don't think I'll be disappointed because I just don't care enough at this point to be disappointed. Like, no matter how it wraps. I
think I might be bagging on it too much. I think I'm expecting too much. I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm lost, y'all.
There's definitely people out there that are expecting too much because it's their favorite show.
Yeah.
I also think part of the hate comes from, I think it's cool to hate it now. Like, it's cool to be that person that's like, they're not on the books anymore, so this show sucks because how could they be as good as the books now? I don't know. I feel that. Because you listen to some people's complaints and they aren't really valid to me. Or they just sound like they're repeating something they heard from someone else.
Yeah.
Kind of. Maybe I'm wrong.
I felt the same way. I mean, just like you just saying, I'm going to be honest. I echoed some of the things that I've heard where...
I mean, everyone does, yeah.
Yeah,
it's just normal. Like, oh yeah, I heard that opinion. That
they weren't following the book and everything. And to me, because me and you watch the show with our girls, we watch the show.
Yeah.
And there's many scenes in the last season where I was like, either saying something or about to say, or wanted to say something, where I was going to call out what was going to happen next. It's just like specific scenes where like it's concentrating too much on one character. I'm just like, oh, motherfucker's going to die right now. Yeah. Just calling it right now. It feels
it's always done that. I mean, that's just like, I think something that most shows do, where it's like they get their moment and you're like, okay, that seems like this person's gonna go. That's why I think season 3 and 4,
she was tight. You
weren't expecting those things. Facts. I mean, maybe you could look at Oberyn talking to Tyrion in his cell and be like, okay, one of them's gonna die, like something's not gonna go right. But I didn't take it like that at that point. But the Red Wedding fucking comes out of nowhere. That shit was really unpredictable. I didn't see that shit coming at all.
And we're running a little long on this, but I love the show.
No, we could.
Tyrion and Jaime.
We could go 2 hours for the episode.
Tyrion
Doesn't
and Jamie's little last reunion. I felt that was pretty tight to me. It's like
Yeah,
what he
that was
said
a
to him
nice
was
scene.
like, because of you, I didn't die. I lived.
Yeah, you're the reason I'm
You're the-
here today,
yeah,
pretty much. Like
that
you've
shit
always
was
protected
tight.
me and stuff.
That pulled out my heartstrings.
Yeah, it was a little emotional, especially someone that has like a brother. So it was cool.
Super facts.
That was like about the only emotional scene for me. I know some people sympathized with Cersei at the end. They were kind of feeling bad for her, but I was like, nah, fuck that bitch.
What
Yeah, I've heard some people say that.
the fuck?
They're like, oh yeah, 'cause they kind of humanized her, and it's like, yeah, it's like she just let all those people die. Not really. I guess they rang the bells, but
She didn't want to
still.
though. They
Didn't want to.
They did it on themselves by themselves.
True.
The
She's a
people did
bitch. She deserved to die.
it. Yeah, but like in a more brutal way.
Yeah, definitely.
Bring her back.
Maybe they're not dead. Would you be mad if she's not dead? If they fucking crawl out of the rubble?
I was thinking about that. I kind of would, but at the same time, I mean, give me a justifiable death. I guess.
Because then at that point, what do you do? Burn her?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We'll
If they
have
do
to
bring her
wait and
back, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed out either way.
Gotcha. All right, but yeah, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next episode, I guess. But I think we've, like you said, spent quite some time on this, so maybe we should just move on.
The Throne of Games. Wait.
That sounds like a kid's show.
Yeah.
A bunch of board games that make a throne.
So what do you think of Cloverfield now that you've seen this motherfucking movie I told you to watch?
Oh yeah. So
This found footage piece of ish.
yeah. Well, in case anyone didn't catch the first episode last week, we ended the show with me recommending a movie to Ricardo, just Rick, with just a movie I'd recommend to somebody if they were asking me like what's a good movie and if I think they might not have seen it. And then he did the same to me. And his movie that he recommended was Cloverfield, and I recommended the movie Drive to him.
We did it to each other.
Yes. That was a little weird. But yeah, Cloverfield, actually, I took some notes. I did enjoy it actually more than I thought I was going to. I heard a lot of negative stuff about it way back when I was a kid and then it came out. But I actually really enjoyed it.
Do you like the soundtrack, the music? The music in general, music. It was like,
there was no like score to it,
there was
there?
no score. It was just the music playing in the background. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't remember the score happening. But the music, I mean, it was cool. That was one of the things. At first, I saw it as a negative, but then I saw it as a positive, which is that it's kind of dated.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's a found footage film, I think it works like perfectly for it. Because then it's like, okay, it works because it's a fucking tape recorder. So of course they're playing music from like fucking. I mean, it's a 2008 movie, but they're playing like even older music.
Because they're older people in the show.
It definitely hit me. Oh. One of the songs they play is fucking Sean Kingston's "Beautiful Girls."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, damn, when was this movie made? And everyone's got like their flip phones still. So, but I think that part worked for it. Like I said, I thought it was a negative at first, but then I was like, okay, this is actually, it works in favor of the film. One thing, I'll go over my kind of complaints with the movie first, and then I'll go into the stuff I liked. So one of my biggest complaints with it, at first I got used to it, but since it is supposed to be found footage, camcorder, and I believe they shot most of it by like handheld, I think. I don't know. Maybe they did it. I pulled that out of my ass. I'm wrong.
They shot it by...
Like handheld, like not on tripods and stuff, like actually someone holding a camera.
So if you see the behind the scenes, there's a guy, I mean, the guy holding the camera, they show him like for a split second, but there's actually a camera guy holding the camera.
Yeah.
So it's a camera guy with the gyro thingy, whatever.
Yeah, like a steady cam kind of thing.
So that's...
Yeah. But they never like set up a camera, right? Like on a tripod, right? But anyway, so part of that being since it's handheld like that, it was kind of annoying at first, especially when they're running like the shaky cam. Like the fucking camera was shaking so much that it was giving me a headache a little bit. I was like, damn, is it really going to be like this the whole time? So that was a little small complaint I had.
Valid.
The second thing, which is just very nitpicky, was why at some points was the camcorder displaying the date and time and then it would go away. Really? Yeah. Like at the beginning it starts and it's like June, March, April, May, June. No, April.
The very beginning?
Yeah,
where
it says like April 24th.
The U.S. government type thingy?
No. After that, when he's recording his girlfriend in bed.
Oh, I'm assuming that they taped over an old tape.
Yeah, no, they explain that in the film, but it shows the date and time, and then it cuts to the point where they start recording over it, and then it shows the date and time again, showing it's been a couple months. But then after that, it kind of just that disappears, and it doesn't pop up until the end again. So I thought that was a little weird. Maybe I just don't know how camcorders work, but that was a little funky. At some points there was grain, and some points there wasn't. So I was like, the consistency there was a little weird. But those were really my only complaints. Let me just look over my notes really quickly.
Why do you have a whole notebook?
I have a sticky note.
You're still flipping through the pages.
But yeah, I mean, I have one other complaint. Two other complaints. I'll say the last one for the end of my little thingy with this movie. Because it involves the end of the movie. And one of these involves the actual end, because I thought it was pretty retarded. Whoops, that wasn't politically correct. I thought it was pretty dumb. There's nothing wrong with retarded people. That the movie starts at 6:42 in the morning on the tape, and then it ends. He's like, when he's talking to the camera, when he's saying like before everything like collapses on him, he's like, "Oh, it's 6:42, like right now, blah blah blah, in the morning." And
so it starts at 6:42 and ends at 6:42.
Yeah. So in my notes, I put starts and ends at 6:42. LOL. So yeah, I thought that was pretty
full day. Full day of bullshit.
Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, I mean, overall, I liked it. I know one of the big complaints I heard before I had even watched the movie was that they didn't show enough of the monster.
Yeah.
I had heard they didn't even show any of the monster. But that's just flat out false. And I think they did a perfect amount of showing the monster, in my opinion.
Facts. Thank you. Like for found footage.
Yeah, it's found footage. It's not a monster movie.
Monster. Yeah, it's found footage.
It's not fucking Godzilla. Like, it's about this group of friends.
And that's why I said, but after watching this movie, I was like, we need our own Godzilla movie. Or I mean, Cloverfield movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that I didn't mind. I thought they did a fine job of showing it. There was a little convenience, like, as far as the placement of the monster. Like, he happened to just be going where they were going. So, but I mean, that was fine.
Why are we going the same path as this fucking monster?
Yeah. Helicopter. So I thought the beginning dragged on a little bit, just this little bit of it. So I didn't really have much to comment on as far as the real beginning of the movie. The acting at first was kind of bad to me. I didn't really like the actors. I was like, oh, these guys suck.
There's a lot of those people who have you watched Daredevil, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Theo Rossi's in it.
Yeah.
From Sons of Anarchy too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
he's in it.
It's a throwaway character in
that one chick that TJ Miller character likes.
He looks like there's a guy who looks like TJ Miller. Mm-hmm. No, it's not TJ Miller.
That is TJ Miller.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
I looked up the cast after.
Are you serious?
TJ Miller. The guy that's actually holding the camera the whole time? Yeah, it's TJ Miller.
I thought I looked this up like long ago, and I was surprised that it wasn't TJ Miller.
No,
I was like, this is a lookalike.
Sounds just like him too.
Yeah.
No, that's TJ Miller.
Okay.
So the girl he likes, she's also from a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
I recognized her. She was from The Interview with Seth. She's in a lot of Seth Rogen movies.
Sure.
But she was cool. I liked her. I really liked the part when it finally starts kicking off and they're in the subway. I like that little joke she has when TJ Miller's like, "Oh, you know Superman?" And she's like, "Oh shit, you know Superman?" She's like, "Do you know Garfield too? Like, have you heard of Garfield?" So that shit was pretty funny. And I like that.
Damn, that is TJ Miller.
Yeah, you gotta think about that. It's gonna keep you up at night. But yeah, I didn't like that there was any kind of like forced comedy or anything like that. That joke right there is pretty organic. Like, it wasn't a super jokey joke, but it's something that you could still tell when your whole world's collapsing.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see it too much as like a monster movie. I really saw it more of like almost like an end of the world movie, kind of like apocalypse movie, more than anything. And the monster was just that catalyst, similar to like an earthquake or a tornado would be the plot point. This one just uses a monster. So as far as like a apocalypse world-ending movie, it's probably one of my favorites. I mean, it's not working with much. I mean, it's not, the competition's not very fucking good.
True.
You got like what, 2012, fucking San Andreas, like
Bad.
just bad movies. So this one was actually really good. I was surprised because like I did some research after I watched the movie. The director is Matt Reeves, who is the director of the Planet of the Apes movies, the two, the Rise and Dawn, or not Rise and Dawn, the Dawn and War. He directed those two, and he's going to be doing the new Batman movie. So he's a really good director. I liked him. It's shot pretty good for a shaky cam after all the running and shit.
They had HD VHS tapes over there back then, or HD video cameras. I'm trying.
Oh,
I don't know what they had.
I was reading my notes. That's why you caught me off guard. What else?
4K tape recorders.
I definitely think it was ahead of its time. Like, it only came out in 2008, so it's pretty recent still. But, I mean, it still made a lot of money, I guess, so I can't say it's necessarily ahead of its time. But I feel like it'd be more of a cultural significant movie and phenomenon if it would have came out nowadays. Especially if it would have been like a Netflix movie or something like that. I think it would have been.
Well, they tried that with Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, yeah, I heard that one's shit. I didn't care to watch it. That's something I could say. I don't see how people... Because I only went off what people said as far as 10 Cloverfield Lane not tying into the Cloverfield, like not being a sequel. And it's obviously not a sequel because it's not following them and it's not in the city. But I think they did a pretty good job, like, making it in the same universe, in my opinion. I don't think it... I can't say, like, oh, that's not a Cloverfield movie. Like, to me, looking back on Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield, now that I've seen it, I think they work fine in the same franchise, personally.
Well,
like any kind of
everything leading up to 10 Cloverfield Lane, everything leading up to that, like the I forgot what they call it, ARG.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say maybe it's because I didn't follow the original ARG or the ARG for 10 Cloverfield Lane, so maybe that's why.
The ARG.
I'm just going based off the two movies, and that's why I feel like it does a pretty good job. But I'm sure if I was following that, then I might have been let down.
It's a little different. It's not completely different. I mean, I went in there thinking it was gonna be a Cloverfield sequel. But in the middle of the movie, or like a quarter of the way through, I started to realize, I was like, oh yeah, it's not a direct sequel, but I'm still enjoying it. The characters are fucking good, great.
Yeah.
That everything's good in it. So I just watched it. I didn't have the same reaction as people saying it's like, oh, it sucks. It's not a direct. It was a good movie, man.
Yeah.
But as far as the ARG, it just has a bunch of the same ARG as the first one. It's not a direct sequel again.
And I feel like that's probably how they should do the Cloverfield series. It should just be anthology, like different stories about what was happening at different parts. That's how they've been, and that's how I feel you should do it. I don't want to see a sequel to Cloverfield. I don't want to see them fight the monster. I want to see the personal stories of when it was attacking, when the aliens invaded, I guess.
I had this argument with my friends a couple years back. The same thing. It's like I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to see a direct sequel. I would want to see I mean, I kind of would actually. Now, but I can see how that can go wrong. It's too far down the line.
Not even that.
And after these movies,
I just feel like the first one was about the personal aspect of it, so it'd be weird to transition from personal to
the monster,
to becoming a monster movie.
Okay,
because I don't think that's what it was to begin with.
I see it.
That's my take on it. One thing I didn't really get is why the people blow up when they're bitten. Like, that was kind of confusing. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like, they just threw it in there, I guess, to throw it in. But I was like, okay, I guess she's gonna blow up. I liked her. She was a cool character. So that kind of threw me off. And then I thought, as far as the plot goes, it's kind of fucked up. Like, fuck Beth, the main girl that they're trying to save. Like, what's the point?
It's true.
Like, if that was my friends, I'd be like, Beth is dead, my guy. Like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. He's like, nah, let's go save her. Let's head towards the monster. That's a fucking great idea. Just to save this one chick that you love, I guess. Maybe you guys messed around for a little bit, but I guess you've always had a crush on her. This is what the movie seems.
Boyfriend, did he just leave her as?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that dude.
I was like, dang, you gotta pipe through going through your shoulder.
Also, Beth's kind of a bitch.
Beth is kind of a bitch.
Like, it's only, according to the tapes, it's only been a month or so since they stopped seeing each other. And she shows up to this motherfucker's going away party with new dude.
Another dude, yeah.
That's fucked up. That's some cold-blooded shit. So yeah, I didn't care for Beth. She could have died. And that's where I thought the movie was gonna go. I was like, okay, they're gonna go. And that's another red flag. You just go through all that shit. You come up out of the subway, and you see Beth's fucking apartment sideways, like it's angled. Why would you want to go up? That's fucking such a bad idea. I was like, they're gonna go through all this shit, and then this bitch Beth is gonna be dead. And then, sure enough, when they get in there, she's impaled on like rebar. And I was like, see what I was like, I called it. This bitch is dead. And then she fucking has her moment where she wakes up, and they fucking pull her off the rebar, which I'm sure would be ridiculously painful to the point where you probably pass out. But she doesn't. You know, she's a fucking strong woman, and she powers through it. And I guess she doesn't bleed out, really. The blood somehow stopped because she's not bleeding out when she comes off that rebar. But, yeah. Then what happens after that? And they start making their way down.
The little monster thingy attacks him in the hallway.
Yeah, they attack him again. Which is also something I heard people complaining about, like, the main girl in 10 Cloverfield Lane, like, fighting all those monsters. Like, clearly they're not that hard to fight. These guys are fighting them off with fucking sticks.
And 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah.
They're fucking aliens. They got spaceships.
I mean, aliens, monsters, same shit.
Or monsters, yeah. They got spaceships.
Yeah, like the space dogs.
Yeah.
But I remember people complaining about that she's fighting off those space dogs. And it's like, well, I mean, they took care of these, whatever the fuck these things are. They look like space beetles or something.
That's pretty tight.
But, yeah.
The models.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. So then they make their way, and I guess at this point, there's what? I think there's still all four of them. There's four of them. His brother died already. So there's TJ Miller, Beth, the main dude. Forget his name. Roy or something? I don't remember.
Something.
And then Linda or something. His brother's girlfriend. And so they're going, how does she die? She dies somehow.
The sister? The sister-in-law?
The sister-in-law.
She gets, no, fuck. How do she? Oh, helicopter.
Oh, yeah, she makes it out. Helicopter. Never mind, she doesn't make it.
She doesn't make it out. I think the helicopter blows up, doesn't it? And I'm thinking I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend you're thinking of. Well, she might be because, okay, so the helicopter, that's right. Now I know where I'm going to go. So the helicopter flies away, right? And they got to wait for the next helicopter. And then the monster starts attacking. It comes towards them. Or something comes towards them. Mm-hmm. And at one point, it looks like a helicopter gets thrown into a building. They don't specify if it's her helicopter, but a helicopter definitely crashes right there. So she might die there. Maybe she made it out. Who knows? I don't really care about it. Maybe we'll see her in the sequel. Yeah, maybe we'll see her in the sequel. So then they got on their helicopter. And to me, this is where I complain about. This is my last complaint. The ending of the movie. I think it kind of fell flat for me. Because it was so good up until then, personally. I thought it could have ended there. Right? Them flying away on the helicopter. Why the pilot stopped. Like when the stealth bomber comes and carpet bombs him. The helicopter pilot stops. Like his goal wouldn't it be to be getting these civilians out of the city, but no, he stops.
But you can't get the perfect shot if you
can't get the right angle. So TJ Miller tells him to stop the helicopter so he can get this nice shot. And then it's all smoky, and then the monster jumps up and smacks the fuck out of the helicopter.
Slaps it out the air.
And I was like, okay, that's where the movie's gonna end. They just all died. Poor fucking people. Nope, they fucking survived the helicopter crash, which is cool. Whatever. The pilot dies somehow, but they survive.
Pilots always die. So
yeah. Don't be a pilot, kids.
In movies.
So they survive, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. This is how it's gonna end. They're gonna start walking away, but I was wrong again. And the fucking TJ Miller's character is staying there filming it. The monster comes close. He doesn't try to run from it. He just looks at it, and then. For some reason, the monster actually gives a fuck about him and looks down at him, sniffs him, eats half of his body.
Doesn't even know, just choose him. Huh? He doesn't need to have his body. I think he...
Well, it's hard to see since it's the handheld cam.
Yeah.
But you definitely, as his upper body falls down...
Oh, there's two pieces?
You can see his leg in the monster's teeth.
Yo.
So I'm assuming he got bit in half. But anyway, he's dead instantly. They come, they mourn on his body.
And the monster's gone immediately.
Yeah, the monster somehow disappeared. Doesn't give a fuck about them. He's too busy enjoying TJ Miller. He's like, damn, this is some good human.
I gotta take him out because I know what he's gonna do in the future.
He's gonna spread the message. So anyway, somehow the monster doesn't eat these two guys, but they mourn. They pick up the camera because the film has to continue.
Facts.
Also, that was my big problem. How long is the battery? How long is the battery on this shit?
It's a good ass camera.
I gotta get me one of those whenever we do video. But yeah. Anyway, so they pick up the film and they start running again, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Then they go under the bridge, which isn't a very protective bridge. It's like a New York City park bridge, like for bikes to fucking go over.
Thanks.
And they say like their goodbye message, and I was like, okay, cool. It's just gonna cut to black, and it's gonna end there. But no, something else has to happen. So then the fucking bridge collapses on them, and then they are presumed dead.
It's because they're bombing the.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're
monster
bombing
again.
them. That's right. They're bombing the monster. So they don't give a fuck about civilians, which I don't blame them. You know, these dumbasses spent the whole movie going towards the monster, so if they die, it's on them. But yeah, they bomb the bridge. They die.
Do they? Is it like Game of Thrones?
They're dead. The bridge falls on them, and then you see the explosion. So I mean, shit, who knows? They survived a whole lot. And then it cuts to the end of the film, which is the previous recording. And it's fucking Beth dumbass saying, "Oh, I had a good day today," and then the film ends. So up until that point, I was really enjoying it, and then the
Did
ending.
you see the monster at the end falling into the water?
No.
Or presumably
It was like a post credit.
Yeah.
Oh no! As soon as the credits started rolling, Netflix. Oh.
They're in the roller coaster.
Yeah, they're on like the. I think they're on a Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. My bad. Ferris wheel.
This bitch isn't on a roller coaster. Like, I had a good day. All shaky.
But yeah, she says,
does it fall in the back?
Yeah, you can see it's like her face is in the shot, and in the background you see the ocean, and something falls from the sky into the water.
Oh, interesting. No, I didn't catch that.
The whole ARG.
But yeah, no, I still, even all that, happy I watched it. I'd probably watch it again. I'd still, with all the flaws I had, I'd probably score it at like a B.
Okay.
And not like a negative like B movie, but like a B, not an A movie, but a B. So it's a good movie, better than average, better than I expected, and I would recommend it to someone if they're looking for a unorthodox monster movie.
Yeah. Is it my turn to
Now
go
it's
for
your
the
turn.
movie
What
I
did
saw?
you think of
Drive?
Drive?
I put on my sunglasses
Don't
for the
forget your
audience.
jacket. He already bought the whole outfit. He's got the jacket and the gloves.
So the audience can hear how cool I am after seeing this movie.
If only had sound effects. So your voice deep.
Okay, so for as far as Drive, what's the actor?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, damn it.
Yes.
That's about the extent of my knowledge of all the actors in there. Oh, Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
I know him.
It's I'll help you out here because Drive is probably my favorite movie. So
yes.
Ryan Gosling, who plays Driver, you don't hear his name in the movie. You never speak his name. Bryan Cranston.
Oh yeah,
plays
Bryan
Shannon,
Cranston is
his fucking mechanic dude. Ron Perlman plays one of the mafia dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I forgot the dude's name, but the voice of Nemo's dad. He plays the main kind of bad guy. What's his name? Not Mel Brooks. Who's the other dude? Not Garth Brooks, the country singer.
Damn,
Albert Brooks. That's his name. Albert Brooks, whatever. The voice of Nemo's dad. Those are like the main characters. Oscar Isaac plays Standard Gabriel. So,
well,
anyway, those are the actors.
As far as like the intro to this movie was fucking sick. The music was tight. It was shot awesome. It was the colors that this director, I'm now knowing, uses the same colors, or is going to be using the same colors like he's doing.
Yeah,
in the
most
movie.
of his films he uses the color. It's not really too prominent in Drive, but he uses the color red a lot. He likes red lighting. I've noticed from the movies I've watched.
But yeah, the intro was badass.
It's got to be one of my favorite intros of all time. I think it does a very good job of like building suspense, like with the score on it, the tick of the clock.
It tells you about the character himself. He's a serious driver, character.
He's good at what he does.
Good at what he does, yeah. And after I can see where it was leading. I didn't know the whole Ron Perlman being the main mafia dude. That was a surprise to me though. It was still a surprise, even though I was like,
when he gets him on the phone or whatever.
yeah, when he gets him on the phone. Yeah, that was a shocker to me.
Yeah.
This shit really had me wanting to fucking drive, man. Immediately after I saw this movie, I want a fucking Oldsmobile, something cheap I can get and just cruise around the city. But this, I found it very funny that Ryan Gosling was so cool. He was like super cool. I mean,
why do you see him as like do you think of like the Notebook when you think of him, or
no? I don't know. It was just when I first heard him talk, like it was cool of it when I first heard him talk, dude. He just had one-liners. And
yeah.
It was I found it funny.
Prefaced it for you that there's not a lot of dialogue. Did that bother you at all that there wasn't a lot of dialogue?
I kind of found it funny. But I really don't know how to or what to relate it to. But I know like I've seen it was
like you're saying it's another movie? Like
no, because it's not really. Fuck my life. I can't really think of anything, man.
Yeah, it's kind of what did you think of I really enjoyed. Did you see like the intro scene coming? Did you see they kind of hint toward it the whole time that the Clippers game has something to do with it? So like at the very beginning he's watching the Clippers game when he's on the phone.
Yeah, he fucking plans that shit. Yeah, that exactly. He's all planned out. I mean, he's a very strategic driver.
Because I know I didn't see that coming. So
I really wanted to see more scenes of that, man. Where
like him planning,
him being a getaway driver more often. Because the family that he meets, also that kind of sucks for him. His love interest in the movie, he can't really.
He's married.
Yeah, he's married, but I kind of respect that he doesn't really, ruin
it's not a home wrecker.
A home wrecker. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not really a home wrecker. He's still cool with everyone. But that before that even happened, and the intro before and after the intro, I really wanted to see more scenes of him being that getaway driver, because you do get that throughout the whole movie where they're kind of talking him up like, oh, he's a real good driver. He's good at what he does.
Yeah, and
I wanted to see more of those scenes.
And I think
because they really made me love it.
Yeah, those scenes are really good, but I don't think that's necessarily what the movie's about. Because I think that's what he is, but you can tell once he meets his love interest, the main girl in the movie, is that he doesn't really want to be that dude anymore and he's kind of already over it, I feel, when the movie starts. And
then he's drawn back in after meeting the boyfriend
to end up helping the girl he loves. He wants to get out of it kind of for her, but ends up going back into it for her. So
yo, that's crazy too. Damn, now I'm remembering the fucking elevator scene.
Oh, the elevator scene where he says goodbye to her and knows that this dude's here to fucking take him out. And
also that was cool as well, man. The whole it was just concentrated on them two saying goodbye to each other.
Yeah,
that shit was
there was no
tight.
Dialogue or anything.
That was tight.
Fucking sicko mode on that guy. Did you watch the trailer at all?
No.
Okay, good. Because the trailer sells it as like a super big action movie.
Okay.
Which I always try to tell people, it's not an action movie. If you've seen the trailer, if you've heard that it's an action movie, it's not an action movie.
No, I haven't seen.
That's what the trailer sells it as. And then also the trailer shows like everything. It's one of those trailers where it shows the whole damn movie pretty much. Like that elevator scene they show it.
Fuck.
Yeah. Were you expecting it to get as violent as it did?
No, dude, that shit was crazy. The head stomp.
All of them, really. That's one of my favorite things about the action that is in the movie, is that it's all really personal. He shoots one dude.
Only one dude. Yeah. He doesn't use a gun at all.
He doesn't use a gun. He had to use a gun in that case. But other than that, it's like he doesn't really want to kill. Clearly he's dangerous and he knows how to do it and he'll do what he has to. But every kind of kill is personal. I guess Oscar Isaac's character gets shot as well when he's robbing the place, when they get set up. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the violence to be like that. Because even that motel scene, when the fucking girl's getting dressed or getting ready in the restroom, and then all of a sudden you see the guy roll up when Ryan Gosling's putting in his head like, oh, people are here. And then she gets her fucking head blown off, and they show her fucking skull coming off.
Also, before then, the boyfriend as well. I didn't see him dying as well.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
I like
and how it led up to after that scene where the girl, Ryan Gosling's in the restroom, and the girl, right?
Yeah, that's the scene.
The girl texts
she texts them where they're at.
That clicked in my head. I was like, oh shit, this two-time bitch.
Yeah, and he knows it too. And she's still lying to him, and that's when he puts on his gloves and fucking has to check her and fucking slaps the shit out of her and tells her not to lie to him. But yeah, and then it's just gnarly, like the fucking when he grabs the shower curtain and fucking like a shower curtain. This man grabbed a shower curtain and stabbed this guy in the fucking chest, and then stole a shotgun and killed the other guy. And I just really like that they don't give you his name in the movie. You never hear his name, so even on the credits, he's just labeled as driver. Because I don't think you really need his name. I feel like I connected with the character, and I knew that he was an honorable dude, and he was overall a good person. Fucking like the hero. I say hero because the fucking ending song is A Real Hero by, I forget who the group is. But so you didn't really need his name to know all that, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I actually screenshotted it because I forgot to put it in my playlist, but I had the music was time.
Yeah, the whole soundtrack.
The intro song is also used at the end, right? I think there's two songs.
They use the song twice. They use A Real Hero twice. They use it. I don't know if it's on purpose, but you could kind of see it like that because they use A Real Hero when he's driving the son and the girl through the city, and he's like, hey, you want to see something cool? And then he starts driving them. So I don't know if like that's supposed to show like they see him as a hero, kind of like this guy that's stepping up to the plate and taking the spot of his dad that's not there. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it because I like the movie so much. But there's that part, and then there's also at the end. So they use it when he's accomplished his goal. Did you see the end coming at all? Kind of. Did you think he was dead? Because at the end is when they meet up. He's finally killed everyone he needs to, I guess. And there's just that one guy left, the main bad guy. And they meet up, and he's supposed to drop the bunny off. Yeah. And that's supposed to be the end of it. But so did you think he was dead? Because the last shot of the movie is him sitting in the seat after he's been stabbed. And he's just fucking, for some reason, not blinking.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, I liked it, though. Because
I thought it would have worked either way.
But then I thought, when I saw that scene, I thought back to the scene where he was talking to the kid. He's like, oh, you blinked. Like, you lost this, the
staring contest.
The staring contest. Yeah, like, he didn't make it clear that we're in a staring contest. But I thought back to that scene, and I was like, it's a good callback.
Yeah. But, what else do I want to say? What else do I want to point out? Oh, also, like a good judgment of his character, I feel, is he wasn't the first one to pull the knife at the end right there. Like, he brought a knife knowing he might need to use it, but he got stabbed first because I'm assuming, trusted that dude to keep a man of his word, because that's what he is. He keeps his word, which they set up at the very beginning.
I got that. He's like the whole movie.
I'll give you 5 minutes. Either side of it, you're on your own.
But he's still waiting. He was still waiting, like, to the last minute, the last second.
At the very end, the guy stabs him, and then he's like, all right, I guess I got to stab this guy back. But, yeah.
No, but overall, I mean, I love the movie. The music was fucking tight. The action in it was cool as fuck, too.
I really like the car chases because they felt realistic. Like, it wasn't a Fast and Furious shit. Like, the beginning one, it's not really a car chase, but...
No, but the way he did it was so strategic. Just like, pull over to the side, turn off turn off the lights, listen to the radio. It's like, oh shit, they have my car marked, so I'm just gonna.
If I see a cop, then I'll gun it.
Yeah.
But then knowing he has to be there by the end of the game to park in the Staples Center. Clippers play at Staples Center.
I think it was Clippers.
I think that. But anyway, to get into the parking lot, I do believe, because it's then he fucking throws the hat on. He flips the jacket inside out. And he even literally walks right past the cops.
You see, he like...
he steps towards one.
Yeah.
Like one of those awkward things.
Yeah.
So he plays it cool as shit. Like, I would never think that was the guy I was chasing. But yeah, and then the other part where they get set up at the pawn shop and they're running away from that guy and he's fucking driving in reverse and then he flips it. But I thought all the action was realistic, which is one of my favorite things about it. But glad to hear you liked it, man. What would you rate it?
Do 7 out of 10. Mine was a 7 out of 10. A B if we were to rate it.
7 out of 10 is a C.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, my rating's different then.
No, okay. I have a weird rating system. Like a 7 out of 10.
I'm going to do 10 out of 10 because I like out of 10.
Yeah.
It's a 7 out of 10.
Well, I do 7 out of 10. And then I do... A 7 out of 10 is worse than a C is worse than a 7 out of 10, even though percentage-wise they're the same. And then a B is a little worse than an 8 out of 10 in my book. I don't know. I got a weird system. But anyway, 7 out of 10. You know, that's cool. I give it a 10 out of 10. But that's
I enjoyed it.
I
give Cloverfield like 7.
I think you'd have to. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I find every time I watch it, I enjoy it more and more. So maybe.
I'm down. I mean, it's a movie I can rewatch. It's literally like
10 times.
It's a rewatchable movie.
This episode is sponsored by the 911 emergency system for ruining audio quality by driving by my house and making us make a cut. Now back to the show.
So Detective Pikachu. It's a mouse with the rat. I mean, a rat with the hat. A rat with the hat.
Nah, you fucked it up. Good.
Damn it.
Bail on it. Detective Pikachu. I mean, just off the bat, I'll give my rating. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, but I definitely had my flaws with it.
I would do 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
I enjoyed it. It also I found some flaws in it as well.
Yeah. It's like a C plus. 7 out of 10. Like I just said before we were interrupted, my system's weird. You'll just have to slowly start to listen on my opinions to kind of hone in on what I mean by movies. But definitely enjoyed it. The biggest thing I'm excited for out of it is I'm excited to see them do other Pokemon stories. Like, even though this plot was pretty simple and predictable, at least that's what I felt, I'm excited to see where they could possibly go with it, doing other kind of stories. What about yourself?
I echo a lot of the same. I mean, I guess I could, since they don't have a talking Pikachu anymore. They're just going to be based
like actual characters.
On the actors' shoulders, and with Pikachu just being in the world, surrounding world. Yeah. But that was cool about this movie, just seeing all the Pokemon floating or flying around, interacting with the
being part of the world.
Yeah, being part of the world. That shit was pretty tight. I mean,
yeah, I would definitely say I'd probably give the movie like a 6 out of 10, maybe even just a 5 out of 10, like an average movie. 5 out of 10 is pretty harsh. I definitely give it like a 6 out of 10. If you don't know Pokemon at all or never have known Pokemon, because they do a decent job of explaining what Pokemon are and, you know, how that whole thing works. But I don't think it's enough to fully capture people that don't understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think if you haven't seen it, like if you're not familiar with the Pokemon franchise in any way, shape, or form, then you probably won't enjoy it as much as someone like me or Rick here. That's my personal opinion. Do you think you kind of have to know Pokemon to enjoy
to watch the movie?
To enjoy it?
Movie? No, they explain it pretty well.
You think they do?
I think my only, if I had to nitpick the movie, that's the only reason why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. It's like because they're doing some things in the movie just to progress the movie, and it would just seem too on the head for me. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But as far as the movie being fun and entertaining, it was cool. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I definitely enjoyed it. Let's see. So it starts off with a little bit of exposition on the main character. At first, I thought it was going to be a complete shit movie, honestly. Because the acting displayed... Huh?
In the intro?
Yeah, during the beginning. The acting displayed... Because, right, it does open up on the kid, right? And he's trying to capture that Pokemon with his... I mean, the intro is Mewtwo breaking out. Yeah. And then after that, it jumps straight to the main character. And his
We are spoiling
friend.
this, by the way.
Oh yeah. Sorry, it is a spoiler review discussion. So if you haven't seen the movie, watch it.
Facts.
And then come back, or if you don't care, just listen.
Stick around.
Yeah. But so after that, they go into this scene with his friend, and the friend's explaining Pokemon. Why don't you have a Pokemon? Everyone has a Pokemon, and then so you learn that this guy clearly has some issues with Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's accepted that because he doesn't care to have one. But yeah, the acting kind of displayed there was pretty average at best. So I was like, man, this is gonna suck. They're gonna rely heavy on like the nostalgia of Pokemon. But I mean, he got better throughout the movie, in my opinion. I don't know if you felt that his acting was good or not.
I like that character in general, or him as an actor in general.
Yeah.
Where did I see him? Fuck my life. He's in another Netflix show. He's in a Netflix show. Oh, the fuck my life. Will Smith's son's in it. It's a hip hop show. Damn, I really can't.
Know. But you like him in that one?
I like him in that show, and I was I was happy to see that he was in a movie role. At least for me, just I don't know. I really wanted to see him do something big, and this was his big move.
And you thought he delivered?
I mean, from what I've seen in the show, it was pretty, and then in this movie, it was good. Yeah, I felt like he delivered with his when he was acting by himself. I felt like because most of the thing it was literally him acting by himself.
True.
Pikachu wasn't really in the room.
Yeah.
So this is all him talking to himself.
True.
So I think he played it off really well.
Fair point. I do think the biggest star of the movie, the biggest thing is Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu is pretty hilarious. He really carries it to me.
Facts.
Carries it for me, should I say. But yeah, so from there, then he gets the news his dad passed. And he has to go to Rhyme City?
Rhyme City. It is Rhyme City.
So he goes to Rhyme City, which I don't know if it's from the game. I never played the game. I never played the game, so I don't know if that's actually what the city's called or whatever for Detective Pikachu video game. But he goes there, and again, they start to nail the fact that he doesn't like Pokemon. His dad's dead. The chief, or whatever the fuck, is like, why didn't you have a Pokemon? Like all that shit. You used to love Pokemon. So you get some more backstory that this guy clearly has some issue with Pokemon. Which eventually is revealed later. He goes to the apartment where we meet the chick character. I don't remember her name. The reporter.
The reporter?
Yeah, the reporter girl, intern. Who I thought might be the worst part of the movie. I didn't really like her too much. Okay. In my opinion, her acting was pretty flat. I'm not an actor. So, she probably did a better job than I could, but I'm just critiquing it. It's my opinion. I thought she wasn't that good. I much preferred Psyduck over her.
Hey, well, they become one in the by the end of the movie. So, they're one. So, you like her a little more towards the end.
Yeah, they do. So in the apartment, we get even more fucking backstory that this kid used to like Pokemon because he goes into his old room. Or technically the room the dad made for him.
He's not. It's not his old room. Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's all fucked up. It's creepy.
It's kind of sad.
He goes into that room and it's decorated Pokemon because clearly the dad knew he liked Pokemon. You see pictures of like the mom and stuff, and
none of the dad.
There's like nothing of the dad. That's not even revealed till the very end. You never see the dad.
You don't even see his face.
I didn't even know it was a white guy until the very end.
You did it.
Well, I mean, there's pieces, there's flashes. Yeah, in the flashes they show he's white. But like, other than that, they don't really do a good job. Like, I mean, no, I don't know where I was gonna go with that. Scratch that thought. But so it's just a lot of exposition. Kind of, it took a little while for it to pick up, but then once Pikachu actually gets involved in the movie, that's when it takes off.
Picking up.
In the movie, Pikachu has amnesia. They don't originally tell you why he has amnesia. You don't really find out till
to the very end,
close to the end. When did they first meet the crippled guy? The whole city was...
you already figured it out by then? I didn't figure it out until...
who Pikachu was?
Yeah.
No, I didn't figure that out. I had a feeling...
Did you figure out that his dad was inside Pikachu?
No.
No?
Nah, I figured that's where they were going to go with it.
After that.
At that point, I didn't.
Okay.
But ever since I saw the trailer, I thought that's where they were gonna go, just because it was a kids movie.
Okay.
I was hoping, since it was a kids movie, spoilers for the end of the movie, the dad isn't Pikachu. That's why he can talk and whatever. Kind of, I guess. They don't really explain why he can talk. Is it because he snorted the fucking dust?
No, it's because it's Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds' dad is inside Pikachu. Pikachu.
You mean the kid's dad?
The kid's dad.
Ryan Reynolds is inside Pikachu.
Yeah. The kid's
and
dad
Ryan Reynolds
is inside Pikachu.
Is also the dad.
Yeah. So,
which is one of my biggest complaints. Wouldn't you recognize your dad's voice?
He doesn't know his dad. He never talked to him. He never wanted to go see him.
Well, I mean, he knew up until the mom died.
Oh, that's true.
He said till his mom died.
Yeah, you're right.
And then he started going heavy into his work, and that's when he stopped seeing his dad. And they said in the film that was when he was 11.
Damn.
So he had 11 years to know his dad.
You're right.
But anyway,
they do show that though in the they explain it where his dad was dying, and then Pikachu offered her body, like, hey, Mewtwo
as
says,
a vessel.
Yeah, if Pikachu's
can save his life,
body,
yeah.
I can save your life.
So that's how Pikachu can talk to him. But yeah, so Pikachu.
But it's initially thought that it was.
And when they do that, Pikachu's memory gets erased. Which is why he has amnesia throughout the whole movie, which is the whole plot of the movie. They're trying to figure out why this is happening, why he has amnesia, and why they can talk to each other, and where the dad is at.
Which actually pays off. I mean, it's cool to find out now after, because you know how he can't use his powers. Pikachu can't use his powers.
Yeah,
I didn't know until the very end. I was like, oh shit. Okay, so that explains why he can't use his powers. He's never used them. He's a fucking human.
Yeah,
Pikachu.
Yeah. I mean, he slowly figures them out. Which leads to that battle scene. I mean, did you find that scene pretty cool where they have like the underground fucking Pokemon fights?
In there. Yeah, Charizard versus Pikachu.
I thought Gengar's character design was bad. He's the only one I thought that was bad. Like, I liked all the other ones, but he just didn't look like Gengar to me. Like, it looked super weird.
Gyarados was tight.
Like Sonic weird. Gengar, at least. Gyarados was tight. That was pretty funny when he was trying to. He's like, they just need a little kick. And fucking throws him, and he just starts flopping on the ground. That was definitely funny. Funniest part of the movie, not funniest part of the movie, but one of the funniest parts is like when they're interrogating Mr. Mime.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was pretty funny. They fucking start pouring gasoline.
Just the trailers was funny.
Yeah, the trailers made it funny, but I thought it was funnier in there.
Yeah,
because they ended up getting inside his box.
Yeah, it continued. I thought most trailers just they give you everything in the trailer. This one. There was more to it. It
was pretty funny that they threaten him by dumping the gas on him, and then he leads it outside, and then he gives up the information, and they accidentally drop the imaginary match on the gasoline anyway. So I don't know. Did they murder him?
Yo,
did he imaginary burn himself alive? But yeah, I thought the storyline for the most part after that was pretty predictable. The only thing that I didn't really predict. So they meet the old man. The old man tells him that his son,
my son,
that his son is evil,
Doo-doo.
And he's trying to turn Pokemon against humans, which is hinted at throughout the movie with Pokemon attacking humans when they smell this purple dust, magic stuff,
purple cane.
So, he says, my son's bad. I hired your dad to track down my son and figure out what he's doing, or blah, blah, blah. And so I knew it was bullshit. I was like, well, that's bullshit. I thought it was bullshit right there. And you learn later on that it is bullshit because they end up finding Mewtwo, which is what the dad wanted in the first place, because he's the key to this big master plan the dad has to merge Pokemon into one with humans. Because the dad's in a wheelchair and he doesn't like that because poor him. So with that, I thought that the son was also going to be evil. But it turns out that the evil son is actually a Ditto.
And the actual son was inside of a closet for
the whole time.
Yeah, who knows how long.
Days. It's Father of the Year. How did you like that little Ditto twist?
Ditto looks weird.
It looked funny because he had like the button eyes.
Yeah, that was fucking terrifying. But
definitely nightmare inducing.
But the twist, I mean, it got me. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know it was Ditto.
Yeah, I thought that's why. So I thought they were both gonna be evil. But it ends up being a Ditto.
And the son is a good guy.
Yeah. So he doesn't really do much, I guess.
He doesn't do much,
saves the
but throughout the
character.
whole movie, they made him seem like the bad guy,
Yeah.
and that
yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah, so I thought he was the bad guy, and I thought the dad was also the bad guy.
Oh, you know the one funny thing that happened in the theater? There
What?
was a couple chicks that were sitting next to us
Mhm.
who were watching it, and they were commenting on the movie, which is like I find I kind of have a problem with that every now and then. But this one comment they made me laugh.
What did they say?
It's the scene where Pikachu drops at the end, where Mewtwo catches Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know they save Mewtwo finally. When
Yeah.
Mewtwo faints
Yeah.
and they both fall.
Yeah, I remember.
Pikachu's falling to the ground, and just before Pikachu hits the ground, Mewtwo saves Pikachu by levitating him.
Yeah, like his kinetic powers.
Yeah, and before they fall like completely to the ground, they come to the ground. You see the kid turning the corner around the building, like
Yeah, like he's already at the bottom.
And the people next to us said, "Damn, he's a fast runner."
Yeah, I did notice that. Like almost instantly,
shit was
he's already at
funny.
the bottom. So that was a little strange how he got down there so quick. But
Oh,
yeah,
my
so the evil guy merges himself with Mewtwo. His plans go in according to plan,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way to stop it is to get the headset off of him. Which, in my opinion, you should have had a more foolproof plan, man.
Like merge yourself with Mewtwo.
Completely or something. Like if all you got to do
If
is
you know
take the
how to do
headset
it.
off.
If you know how to merge Pokemon with humans, why don't I do it with you and Mewtwo?
Yeah. So pretty simple plan, but Ditto puts up a fight and stops the guy for quite some time. Pikachu finally learns how to use his powers, and he's able to distract Mewtwo enough so that the main character can take the headset off. And then that's when that scene happens where they both fall, and then
The Volt charge look tight.
the Volt tackle or something.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, I guess, to save time. Mewtwo, when he was fusing the Pokemon, he had to do it like in the general area, but then when Mewtwo's himself again, he just like Thanos it. He snaps.
Well, because he knows how to use his powers as opposed to the
Maybe
guy learning.
that's
how
what
to
I
do it.
figured. I was just trying to nitpick, man. You can't let me nitpick. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so Mewtwo undoes all that, and then everyone happily ever after. The Mewtwo unfuses Pikachu with his dad, which I was hoping they didn't do. I really just wanted the dad to be
To
dead.
continue. Oh, to get, have a talking Pikachu throughout the whole
Just have
series.
a talking Pikachu. But still, it's a children's movie, so I was like, yeah, they're probably not gonna just kill the dad. He's gonna have to survive. So they do that. It ends up being Ryan Reynolds as a dude, not literally Ryan Reynolds, but the dad is played by Ryan Reynolds, which is why my complaint with the voice is, wouldn't you recognize your dad's voice?
Also, it wasn't a surprise to me. Once they told me like, oh, this your dad's inside the Pikachu. I didn't think they were gonna have another a random dude with Ryan Reynolds voiceover his voice. People in the theater were reacting like, oh, it is Ryan Reynolds. So it didn't surprise me.
It's the only logical choice.
Yeah, that would be pretty shitty if it was just a random dude with Ryan Reynolds voiceover.
Yeah, I guess you got me there. Ryan Reynolds looking like a hip dad though. I don't know.
Facts.
But
he lost all his Deadpool muscles.
Yeah, he was looking super. That's the one thing I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, is Ryan Reynolds' legs that skinny? Because they look like goddamn twigs. I was like, I could have sworn he was like more fucking muscular than that, but whatever.
He looked thin.
Yeah, anything you'd like to add on? That's kind of the story. My kind of complaints with it. Other than that, though, I still really enjoyed it. At the end of the day, I do think it's a kids' movie, so like, I don't hold too much of it against it. I know a lot of critics out there are like, it doesn't matter if it's a kids movie or a drama or whatever, it's a movie, so you should base it off a movie. But it's like, come on, it's a kids movie.
It was fun. It was cool. People are too tough on things nowadays. Enjoy the small things, y'all.
Definitely. I definitely look forward to what the Pokemon franchise movies might look like. Maybe we'll see some epic battle, like tournament battle style things.
They look tight. They could do it.
That'd be really dope. They kind of just barely hinted at it in the underground scenes here, but they could do a full-on
before then,
storyline.
Like the TV shows, or when they were talking about Rhyme City, like we have our greatest, our stadium battles here, this and that, and they showed like a little glimpse of how it looks.
Yeah.
That looks pretty tight.
So, the movie's doing well enough that they probably will they'd be, I think, foolish not to make another Pokemon based movie. But I guess that's not my call. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And we're back. Hello.
Cool. All right, so now let's wrap up the show here and get to our mystery movie
randomizer.
I should make like a drop for that. Be all spooky.
Oh,
nah, it's be spooky because it's mystery.
You're right.
Be like ghost sounds. Let's see. Let's have you start this one off.
All right, you want me to hit the randomizer? On this beach. All right, so I'm on the, what's it called? Realgood.com. That's REELGOOD.com. And you can pick different streaming services and then randomize the shows between it. And we're just doing just movies. And I'm gonna hit the spin button. Right. It's spinning. Look at it. You see it?
This is actually a very fast spin.
It's super fast. And the movie I got is If Not For His Grace, a 2015 movie. I've never even heard of this goddamn movie. It's a drama.
Definitely never heard of that movie. Who's it starring?
It is the Ralph. Okay, the description is the Randolph family is the pillar of a neighborhood in urban Los Angeles community. And Rev Williams Randolph is the glue that holds the family together. His wife, Ruth, depends on William for for guidance with what? Well, 10-year-old Jacqueline. Yo, this is a drama.
Yeah. Sounds like a real stinker.
Yo, he's got a...
We'll keep the scores hidden. We won't tell you guys the scores of these movies.
The IMDb movies? IMDb score?
Yeah, just don't say it.
Okay.
It'll be better. We could tell it maybe next week when we actually go over it.
It's going to be great.
All right, my turn to spin.
Picture of it.
Here we go. You can click it for me.
Oh,
I ain't gonna judge you. It's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning.
Click on the TV show.
It's spinning, it's spinning. It's not spinning. We just have slow internet here. Okay. Wait, what was the name of yours?
I took a picture of it. It's all good or something. I don't know.
Yours came out 2015. Anyway, mine sounded similar. Mine is titled Somewhere Else Tomorrow.
The hell?
Came out in 2013.
Somewhere Else Tomorrow. Is it a drama?
It's a documentary.
Like oh, that's
action adventure.
You might like this. Documentaries are usually good. I mean, hopefully.
We'll see. How does an action adventure documentary?
The hell?
That'll be interesting. Oh, because it's Warzone Borders.
Oh shit! It might be boring. And very informative, but very.
Are we gonna do documentaries? Do we count those as movies?
I think they count as movies because you get the Michael Jackson. I don't know. If it's like not split up, I guess it's a movie. If it's an hour long, hour and a half, I guess it's just the way it's shot.
Fuck it. We'll see.
What do you think? You want to rule it out? We can rule it out.
Well, I'm just gonna say if we're gonna try to debate plot points and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. All right, go.
There's no plot. Like it's real life. Oh shit! I hit watch. All right, second choice. Oh my god, is a movie called Mega Fault, made in 2009, and oh my god, if you could see this poster for this, it looks like it's gonna be real good.
Is it like one of those Cloverfield?
I think you're gonna love it. I think you'll love it. When miner Charlie Boomer Baxter sets off a series of massive mining detonations in West Virginia, a gigantic earthquake is soon rocking the North Atlantic, exposing a deep seismic fault that runs the length of the North American continent.
This is sci-fi as fuck, huh?
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's probably made by the same company that does Sharknado.
They probably have no budget for this shit.
What's it called again? So
Mega Fault.
Mega Fault.
I'm gonna send you pictures. I'm screenshotting this shit.
Oh, okay. Cool. So those are the two movies we're gonna get. We're both gonna watch those this upcoming week. And
facts.
We're gonna try to convince each other that ours was better.
Do you want to talk about the ones that we saw last week?
So the ones we picked out last week,
which we did off screen.
Yeah, off screen, as we explained earlier. I'll have Rick.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you describe your movie first.
So when I came in here today, did you notice, besides the cool shades, that I was a little more culturally advanced? Did you notice that?
Nah, you're just wearing a white shirt, man.
Damn. Well, my movie is an Indian film,
Oh, okay.
and it was called. It translates to ice,
Okay.
and then the name is Jello. So Gelo,
Okay.
and it's all subbed. It's all Indian.
Okay.
Um,
What genre are we talking here?
a drama. It's also
It's
a
a
drama.
drama.
Romance drama.
What about like runtime? What are we looking at?
It's like an hour and a half, I
Okay.
believe so.
Not
And
bad.
first off, I love the way this movie starts.
Okay.
It's a musical, man. It's like
Yeah, that's how they do it over there. They love their musicals.
I thought it was gonna be like it looked like one very long music video for a song I've never heard.
Okay. Was it a good song?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
It was a love song, but I mean, it was funny because I was expecting, just like a dramatic movie, a romance movie.
Mm-hmm.
Literally starts off with a song, and the people in the shot are the two people that you'll follow throughout the movie. You can clearly see that they're in love.
Yeah.
But the way they're reacting is not like they're in a movie. It's like they're in a music video where they're shooting a love scenes.
Mm.
So you can't really tell it's a movie. I was like, oh, okay, so this is just the intro to or the beginning of the movie, and then it's gonna cut, and then the movie's gonna start.
Yeah.
Different. No, it bleeds into it, so it blends into the movie.
Interesting.
As soon as the song is over, it's literally it's starting.
Gotcha.
You're in.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I found it cool.
It's definitely a movie you never would have watched otherwise. Right?
Yeah, so I really like this roulette thing, and it brought me on to this. I started laughing as soon as I saw that, so it already got me there. But I didn't really want to poop on it as much. I was like, I'm gonna give this movie a real try.
Yeah.
But these are the notes I got, man.
Okay.
So the next note I got is like the lovers' quarrel leads to smashing a woman's 2-foot tall hut. So I don't know. In throughout this movie, these two people, it's like a Romeo and Juliet movie.
I'd like to know really quick.
What's up?
We don't know Indian culture, and we don't mean to offend anybody.
Yeah, true. I'm sorry. if
Just
I
a heads up, I have no idea about Indian culture.
Yeah. So throughout
But she
this
has
movie,
a 2-foot hut. And that
it's
gets
a
smashed.
wall. It's like I don't know. It's like a little. They're cooking, or she's cooking something behind it. I don't know, but it's very important.
Okay.
Because it's fucked up. It's a fucked up scene. Apparently, they make it look fucked up. But these two people, it's like a Romeo and Juliet. They're not supposed to be They're not supposed to be together.
Okay. Is it like an arranged marriage?
Yeah, the woman,
happening?
the lady is supposed to be married off to someone else, but they can't find someone suitable.
Gotcha.
And he is too poor to be with her.
Okay.
Although he doesn't look poor at all. He looks like they look all dressed up in this shit. There's a mild conflict between the townspeople over some water. It never really clarifies on that, but for some reason he's involved and his family is. But it doesn't really say like, hey, it's your fault, this and that. And then that's where later on in the movie he finds out that he's too poor to be with the girl. So he's like, we can't be together. So there's some drama in like him trying to push away the girl. But that is immediately thrown out the window. Because I don't know how it leads back into their lovers' quarrel. Or I mean, back where they're back together. Because it literally, this one scene, he's pushing her away, and then the next scene they're in the same bed together. I don't know what the fuck. It's fucking crazy.
But it's got some weird editing.
Yeah, weird
choices.
Editing. And there's 2 musicals in this, by the way.
Okay. Usually the ending number, right?
In the middle, it breaks out into song again.
Also, really quick, what year are we talking?
2005 or 15, I think.
Oh, okay.
2015.
Gotcha.
One of those. 2005.
Okay.
I didn't really take a picture or anything.
That's cool. More modern, not like an 80s or
Yeah,
90s.
no, it's more modern. And I mean, overall, the cameras they used fucking looks great. Just the acting was kind of iffy.
A little iffy.
Yeah, because later on they're planning on running away. They're planning on running away, and it's leading up to that night. They finally get caught, and
so they see each other kind of at night normally?
Yeah, they see each other at
Throughout the
night. No,
movie?
they see each other throughout the day too, but it's like more
secretly.
secretly. Yeah, and then at
Gotcha.
night they hang out and in the bed and
Okay.
stuff. And when the guy leaves, some dude catches him and he's like, I don't know how he saw over this wall because he was like 20 feet away, and he runs into him and he's like, "This is bad, son. You can't do that." And then the lady walks off, and then her sister-in-law sees her and is like, "You don't even know that guy," but she's like begging for her life basically, because in this world, I guess, or in their culture, they would kill her.
Oh shit.
At least that's what it's like
That's
alluding
what the
to.
movie says, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, don't tell dad because he would kill me. He would kill me. It's like I will be indebted to you. Don't kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So they run off, and this is where it's funny again. And it's it's not meant to be funny. It's just for me to watch this.
Yeah, because you're not used to it.
Yeah, I'm not
I know
used
that's
to
how
it.
they do it a lot.
Yeah,
Like a lot of Indian films break into song.
Yeah, I'm not used to it. It didn't break out as a song, but there were supposed to be dramatic scenes that with dramatic music that weren't as dramatic as the music led on to be.
Gotcha.
So there were scenes where like the military, quote unquote military, which was like three guys, were out looking for them.
Okay.
In the same town. It's just, I guess it was you were supposed to believe that it was a different town that they were searching, but it was literally the same town they were searching. It's funny, the interactions between the soldiers, but they're finally caught, and that's when the hut is being kicked down because the brother-in-law of the brother of the woman hates the brother, the guy, and I guess he's related to this lady who has this little hut that, I don't know, they all live close to each other.
Gotcha.
And he just, as soon as the lady gets up from a little hut to go get some materials, I guess, the guy comes in with a shovel and kicks down her like
Little
pile.
Gotcha.
It was three layers of brick. Breaks it down, and it's just the music behind it is
Gotcha.
so dramatic. I don't know, but overall, it's funny to me.
That's how it ends?
No.
Oh, okay. Is there a happy ending?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I didn't have time.
You didn't finish
before
the movie?
I came in. No, I know.
Thought you could get away with it.
I
But
couldn't.
I called you out.
I had a.
So I win this debate by default.
That's facts.
But anyway, I got the 2016 film A24
Hey,
produced, which is Rick's favorite studio.
facts.
American Honey. Have you heard of American
I've
Honey?
not
Seen it? Gotcha.
So not my favorite.
Yeah. American Honey is starring Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, he's like the second main character. This movie, you won't recognize anybody more than likely because it actually was cast by a bunch of just random ass people. The director would just sometimes pull up to like a parking lot or whatever
Okay.
and just do like impromptu, I found out later, would do like impromptu interviews and auditions for people, and if they were good enough, they got a spot in the movie. Yeah, so you won't recognize anybody besides Shia LaBeouf, more than likely. I didn't recognize anyone besides him. Yeah, so this came out 2016. He had like a rat tail, like a super long braid.
Oh, okay.
So it was all, like a normal haircut, and then he had a super long braid.
Mullet.
I don't know if not even a mullet.
Jedi.
Kind
braid?
of. It was super long though. It was like to his chest. But I don't know if the director didn't like it or what, because like it's almost not in any of the shots. Like it's there, but it's never prominent. So that was a little funny.
Maybe that's Shia LaBeouf.
Runtime for this movie, 2 hours and 43
Damn,
minutes.
my goodness.
It was a very long movie. I was like, fuck, when I got it, I got to dedicate 2 hours and 43 minutes to it. And I had heard mixed things about it because I actually was interested in seeing this when it first came out in 2016, but I just never got around to it because it's like a super indie movie, and I don't think it was showing really anywhere around me. And also, I just didn't care that much about it to go. So, surprisingly, for all of the unknown actors and just random people that are starring in this movie, I thought it was actually really well acted by everybody. The performances were actually really good. I guess I should kind of explain the plot. So you start off on this movie, and it's this girl and these two kids are dumpster diving out back of a grocery store. And it's pretty sick. They find like a chicken, a packaged chicken, raw chicken, and
Fresh.
she's like, I mean, it's in the dumpster, so how fresh could it be?
Expired on that same day.
Probably something like that. So
Still fresh.
they pick it out of the dumpster, and she's trying to hitchhike. She's putting her thumb out to try to get attention to cars. No one's stopping, pulling over for her. And then finally, there's this van that drives by.
Not a beetle?
No.
Not a yellow beetle?
No, not Bumblebee. It's a big white van, like a van pool. It has windows. It's not creepy.
They say candy on the side. Free
Nope.
candy.
So it drives by, and the camera pans as it's driving by, and then the front passenger seat, it's filled with people. Someone's mooning. And the front passenger seat is Shia LaBeouf's character, and he locks eyes with this girl. You can tell they're already trying to build this like romance between them. And so they don't stop for her, though. They pull over into a parking lot across the street to go to the grocery store. And then this girl offers the kids, like, oh, who wants some Mountain Dew? And then they're like, I thought you didn't have money, you broke-ass bitch. And then they go into the store anyway. And she goes in there and she locks eyes with Shia LaBeouf again. I'm going to flip-flop from Shia LaBeouf and Shia LaBeouf because that's just what I do.
Shia LaBeouf. I like Shia LaBeouf.
So Shia, they lock eyes at the register.
I got this chicken. Do you want some chicken?
No. But they lock eyes, and he's at like the register to pay, and they're making faces at each other and stuff. And then the song Diamonds by Rihanna comes on. I think that's the name of the song. Mm-hmm. Diamonds in the Sky or whatever. And then everyone that's part of their group, they all look like white trash. Everyone in their group is like, starts dancing and shit, getting rowdy. And so security comes and kicks them out of the store. Then this chick follows Shia out of the store. And he's like, oh, what's up, baby? You like me? Not like that, but essentially. Paraphrasing here. And he's like, oh, I got some work if you want to come. We'll be going to Kansas City. And she's like, no, I don't want to go. And then he's persisting, and she's like, no. And he's like, all right, meet us at Motel 6 if you want to go tomorrow morning. Last chance. And so this chick goes home, and then you can see she has like a deadbeat boyfriend, kind of a real piece of shit. And these kids, I'm pretty sure there's no like real exposition, which I like, but at the same time I'm also a little confused as to what's happening. But I'm pretty sure it's her boyfriend's sister's children are the kids she's with, because she looks more like a mixed, like white and black maybe. Her name is Star, so she's watching after these kids for whatever reason, and you slowly learn that she's not happy with her life, essentially. They live in a real piece of shit house. There's like nothing in the fridge. Clearly they just got the chicken out of the dumpster. So she's not really happy with her life. And later she meets up at this like rodeo club or some shit. And that's where the mom of the kids are. And she brings the kids, and she ends up running away. She's like, I'm gonna go to the restroom. And she fucking dips and leaves the kids there with the mom. The mom doesn't want the kids. She's like, why should I take the kids? And she's like, because they're yours, bitch. And that's why she runs away. And then so the next morning she hops in that van with Shia's crew and stuff. And it kind of gets boring for a little bit because it's a fucking 3-hour movie. It doesn't need to be 3 hours, but it definitely gets boring for a while. There's so many characters. The van's packed, so you're learning about all these people.
20 minutes of I Spy.
Not really, but there's about like 10, 15 minutes. It's just like a lot of the movie takes place in the car. So you learn what their work that they do is. They're a traveling magazine sales team. So they go door to door and sell magazines. They go door to door and sell magazines. And that's really about all they do. It's a drama romance. So slowly throughout each trip they make to these different cities, Shia LaBeouf's character and Star, they grow closer to each other. And you kind of don't like the character of Star because she's kind of, I don't know, dumb.
Okay.
I would say she doesn't make the smartest decisions. Like, I don't know, she's a very emotional character. She doesn't think too logically. So since she's new to this whole traveling magazine thing, she meets up with the leader of the group and at her hotel room. And there's a man in the bed covered by the sheets, and you can tell that Star is kind of getting upset physically, thinking that that's Shia LaBeouf because she thinks Shia LaBeouf's character is sleeping with this lady, and he's kind of leading on to her. He's leading on to her, that they are going to start a relationship or something. That's what she's taken away from it. So then after that, there's just little things where now Shia's character has to train her how to sell these magazines, and he's like the top salesman in the group. He's like can sell anything. They really try to say that he can sell anything. That's one of the points they really hit home. So he's on cold calls with her, going door to door. And the very first place they go to, obviously, if you've ever met like a salesman, they'll say what they have to say. They might lie to get the sale, which is what he's doing. And the lady, he's lying to the lady that he's trying to sell to, saying that he's like in college, and she asks what he's studying, and he says politics, and she laughs, and his character Star essentially blows their cover because they're not in college, and the line he's trying to pass off is that he's his sister. And so she just blows their cover, and he gets upset at that, and she gets upset, and it's just a constant of that, really. It's like 3 hours of them getting upset at one another, but then coming back together. So like the first hour and a half, they're kind of building this relationship, and then they finally have sex. Yeah, they finally end up having sex because...
Full-on nudity?
No, it gets pretty sexual. Even before that, you see a dick is the first piece of nudity you need.
Don't recommend this movie.
There's a character that pulls his dick out a lot. Like, it's a game. They kind of mention that they don't have much in their life since they're always on the road, so they have these little games that they play. And one of the games they play is when this character pulls his dick out, they all jump him. So he pulls his dick out for fun. Yeah, it's a little weird. But you just learn these characters' rules and kind of their life that they're going through. But the main focus is the romance on those two characters. A lot of the characters hint that Shia LaBeouf's character is kind of whipped out on the leader, like he does whatever she says, and the movie does imply that a lot, but it also still definitely shows that he cares for this character, the Star chick, but Star doesn't really see it, so she's constantly like sabotaging their own relationship that can't necessarily exist, because it's just not ethical for their sales group. But yeah, overall I liked it. I mean, like I said already, it's pretty repetitive as far as them fighting with each other, then making up with each other,
sabotage,
and then fighting with each other. And
do they make up again one more time?
At the very end, they do make up one more time, because at the very end, at one point during the movie, she goes off with these 3 like cowboy redneck dudes, and it's kind of looking like they might try to sexually assault her or something like that. And at one point before that, Shia LaBeouf, when he's training her, shows that he carries a gun on him. But anyway, so she's with these cowboys and they're drinking. She's getting drunk, and then like they hear like howling, and they think it's like a wolf because they're on the middle of nowhere. It's only daytime, but it ends up being Shia LaBeouf. He comes out from the he somehow tracked them down, and he tells all the cowboys to jump in the pool, because they're in their backyard, and so they jump in the pool, and he's just like shooting around, threatening them. And then he steals their car with her, and then that's when the first time they have sex. And then the next time they get in a fight again because what's it called, she's jealous of the main leader girl again. She constantly throughout the movie thinks that he's sleeping with the main leader girl. So now they're in this new city, and they all get there, and it's like a jealousy sex thing they have in the field. And then the last time, he gets really pissed towards the end of the movie because again she goes off with this dude, and this dude pays her $1,000 to spend the night with him, and it's not even implied at first. He just wants like a fucking hand job, but she's talking through it, and so it ruins it for the guy. And so what he says is to just take off your panties, and like he just wants her to spread her legs, and like he's looking at her fucking vagina. They don't show the vagina or his dick. Actually, I think they show the tip of his dick. It's real dark though. But anyway, he's fucking jerking off to just the side of her vagina. That's a pretty pricey $1,000. You have the internet for that. But
you don't know that?
I guess not.
What does this take place out in the desert or something?
They're out in like the oil fields and like fucking wherever.
Internets.
Yeah, who knows? But it pays over $1,000, and this is what I mean by the character just doesn't make the right decisions, because Shia LaBeouf confronts her. The dude that paid for this
2,000.
no, the dude that pays for this fucking hand job experience drops her off where they're meeting up at this house, like an Airbnb almost or something. And Shia LaBeouf's waiting there and fucking kicks the guy's ass. And then he kind of questions her, like, "Oh, did he fuck you? Like, did you let him fuck you?" And she could just say no, but she doesn't say no. And yeah, I think Shia LaBeouf, they don't show it, but it's implied like he fucking reaches like and touches her fucking vag.
Yeah.
Maybe to see if there's moisture or something. And he just keeps asking, like, what'd he do? What'd she do? What did you guys do? And she just refuses to say anything until she finally says, "Why does it matter? You're fucking, her name's Crystal, the main leader chick. You're fucking Crystal. So why does it matter?" And he loses his fucking mind. And he thinks that means that she had sex with this dude, which they didn't. And he gets off on his motorcycle and he fucking just dips. And then like the following morning or 2 days later, Star meets up with Crystal again, and they're having this meeting. And then again in the bed, there's a man with the sheets over him, and Star's thinking that that's Shia LaBeouf's character. But Crystal tells her that Shia LaBeouf's gone. She told him that he can never come back because he's getting too emotional or something. And then a couple days pass, and Shia LaBeouf's now in the van with everyone. He never really travels in the van. He's always driving the main chick around in her Mustang. But he's in the van, and she's still being all standoffish and not really accepting him. But then it ends on like this party scene, and he gives her a fucking turtle. He gives her a turtle, and she walks over to the like pond lake area that they're at, and she lets the turtle go into the water, and then she goes into the water. And then she dunks her head and comes out. And then I believe that's where it ends.
That's a weird movie.
It's a very weird movie. It's pretty good. It's so long that it's hard to fucking describe it. But I think it's kind of worth checking out. I mean, if you're not into romance dramas, then maybe not. But as far as like romance movies, it's a better one. I'd probably give it like a C+, B- kind of thing. Yeah, I don't really know the themes of the movie. I can't tell you if there's a point to that movie. It's just kind of maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It's just a movie. It's just one of those movies that's just like a story that doesn't really have a point, in my opinion. If you see a point in the movie, feel free to let me know. But to me, it's just a story about some chick that's running away from home.
I remember
getting all fucked up.
The trailers and the
emotions.
The advertising for that movie.
I remember like one trailer.
They made it seem like a Bonnie and Clyde type of movie.
Did they? I remember it being like, I could have sworn it was more like drug heavy kind of stuff. It seemed like, but like I said, that's because all these characters look like fucking white trash, like druggies. That's what they look like. But yeah, I'd say positives are definitely the performances. The acting's really good, considering most of these people are unknowns, just random people that they met. Yeah, story's pretty simple overall. Negative would be that it's just fucking long. It's really long, but I definitely think it's worth checking out.
So when does Thanos snap his finger in this movie? This 2-hour long movie.
He actually comes in. It's the post credits. He comes in and he's like, "I'll do it myself."
He's like, "You're no longer in Transformer movies, Shia LaBeouf."
Yeah. But I mean, I always like Shia LaBeouf. I know people shit on him a lot because of his antics outside of,
which is bullshit. I like the fact that I like the Transformer movies. I was sad when they let him go. I think he made the Transformer
probably the best part of the Transformer movies.
Facts. Because now there's some.
I've always thought he was a good actor.
Boyish.
I think he's coming out. I just saw some news article because right now the Cannes Film Festival's going on. So there was something about. I don't know if it was his movie he directed or he was starring in it, but it was getting a lot of praise.
Is it called Just Do It?
I don't know.
Get it done.
Oh, the fucking meme. I forgot about that meme.
Just do it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know how to fucking transition out of this. But yeah, you should check the movie out, I guess, if it sounded interesting to you. Probably didn't, because that was a terrible description of it. But it was just so long.
A lot of info.
Yeah, it was just so long, and it was 2 hours and 43 minutes. Like, and there was no clear points in the movie. It was kind of repetitive. But I would check it out for the performances, and if you like romance movies. But if not, maybe you shouldn't really check it out. I know we're supposed to like be debating which movie is better.
I didn't see the ending of mine,
but
man.
You didn't see the ending of yours, and mine was so fucking long. So I know the way we're gonna do this next week is gonna be a little different.
We're both gonna watch.
We're both gonna watch each other's movies.
Facts.
This way we can poke holes in the movies, and it'll be more of an actual argument, more than me just describing what the movie is and you describing what the movie is.
True facts.
So that should hopefully work out better. We're kind of testing things out, we're still new here.
We're just dipping our toes in, baby.
Only episode 2. This one's a lot longer than the first episode too, so hopefully you guys like that.
The water's warm, baby.
It's getting creepy over here. Why are you moving closer to me, man? But yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us this second episode.
Arigato.
We'll see you guys next time.
As they say in Mexico. Adios, as they say in Japan.
That was a long ass outro.